Okay, but yeah, so your BC, these right here, I know they look like parabolic SARs, so they're different, but they have a look because of the whole dot 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 thing. If you want to think of them as parabolic SARs to kind of help you like visualize them a little bit, that's great. Okay, so they're not like a standard parabolic SAR type thing. So, but what happens is that these are very useful in identifying longer trends. Okay, but the power of them comes. And by the way, I just want to let you guys know a lot of the examples earlier on, I just kind of hid the time frame and everything else. I just denote whether this was an intraday chart or a daily chart, for instance, just so you guys, because people get so caught up. It's unfortunate, but this work is very, 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 very fractal, meaning 1 minute chart, 2 minute chart, 5 minute chart, 15 minute, hourly, 30 minute, 120, 240, 480, daily, weekly, monthly. Okay, and so my swing traders get caught up. Oh, was that an intraday chart? Or my day traders get caught up. Oh, is that a daily chart? So I try to show multiple examples. Okay, just so you guys understand. But so here, same kind of concept, right? So you're getting the red dot, looking for the move down to the green dot, red dot to the green dot up to the red dot to the green dot. Makes sense? So same thing here again. Here's a weekly example: green to red to green to red to green to red. Okay, so that's how we're going ahead and using that. Again, looks very different. It looks similar from a dot perspective to the champion setups, but as you'll see, they fire off very differently at times, and other times they fire off the same. And there's some real power. So I want to show you how you start stacking the probabilities of success as you start layering these things on top of each other. And I hope that you'll get this theme, and I hope you're writing these things down tonight. So by now you should have written down champion setups and pro RT. Okay, and so what you're looking for is, in this case, champion setups and pro RT. And if they fire off on the same bar, well, that's just gravy. But many times they'll fire off, champion setups will fire off before the pro RT. Like in this case, they were 1 bar away from each other. They'll easily be 2, 3, or 4 bars away from each other. The key is, though, do I have them in proximity of each other? Okay, because think about having a 1-2 punch. So one punch can be very effective. With a 1-2 punch can be a deadly combination. And so think of it in those terms. What I'm doing is I'm adding punches to the point by the time you get done with this, you're just going ahead and then what I'm going to do is, after all the theory and getting you guys to understand this, we're just going to look at we're going to look at a whole slew of like actual profits and days that I've done here, and hopefully this will start to make more sense to you then, on the back end, as we take it from the theory side to the practical side. Okay, so and by the way, I see there's a lot of great questions. I will just answer this quick one, there's a couple quick ones, and then I'm going to keep going. Can this be used with futures? You better believe it, Glenn. I'm a huge futures trader myself. Why do you need both? Because that's the 1-2 punch, Kenneth, that I was just talking about. So that's better. It's preferable to go ahead and wait. Same thing with forex. Stock charts. Can you get these for wealth charts? If you have wealth charts and you buy ITP, you can get them. In fact, I just showed them a little bit ago. Here's a live chart right now. This is Netflix daily chart. There's the ITP right there with there. So you just anybody, and of course all of you already own ITP. You go to indicators, trading marketplace, and then right up here at top, Rob Hoffman ITP. And so, and any of you get them tonight. If you have wealth charts already, it's super easy. You just buy ITP and then get it activated, and then you can start applying them on your charts here. All right. And by the way, later this week, we're looking at adding a ITP layout over here as well, so that anybody has ITP can get those activated. Okay. All right. So let's go back on here. All righty. And it won't let you buy ITP. Okay. Well, sit tight, John. You may not want to go buy them right now on the on the website. I wouldn't go to the website to buy them right now. You're going to overpay. So why don't you sit tight there? You had previously asked. Oh, I see. John, okay, John says I emailed, they said it was upcoming. Yeah, because normally you got to pay the full price between events. So we're doing a special event tonight, so why don't you sit tight, because you'll save yourself some money. So yes, so tonight, later tonight, John, will be your opportunity. So all right, so I just want to make sure everybody understands a couple key things. Champion setups, Pro RT can be on the same exact bar or within a handful of bars of each other. And as long as they're within 3 to 5 bars, I mean, the tighter the better, right? If they both fire off the same bar, that's super awesome. If they're within 1 or 2 bars, I'm just as happy as if it fired off on the same bar. If it's 3 to 4, 5 bars, yeah, it's like, it's still a darn good trade. But comparatively speaking, the percentages points drop a few points. But the good news is these are the precursors to the rest of the stuff I'm going to show you. And once you have those things in place, then it just makes it, brings back that probability factor. But I'm just talking about if you use these in exclusivity without any of the other things I'm about to teach you. Okay, so I'm just what we're doing is layering on the probabilities. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about acceleration alerts now. So acceleration alerts, these are really, really important. Now, I want you guys to pay really close attention to these, because when I go to show you RTI, if you're not really paying attention, you might go ahead and think that they look identical, but they definitely are not identical. And the combination. So what I want you guys to do, and I wish I would have had this slide. In fact, if my team is listening, it'd really be great. I know later in the presentation, there's a slide that has like a list of a whole bunch of my setups and strategies. And so what I want you to understand, I have like 26 different setups and strategies. And what's happening with these is we're taking like a subset of these different strategies. And in some of these indicators, it takes like 8, 9, 10 of these strategies into consideration. Other ones, it takes 5, 6, 7 of them into place. And if they're all firing off, then it's going ahead and making. So it's basically combinations of like 26 different setups and strategies that are making these things. And the confluence is what's so important. Okay, so that's why I just want to make sure everybody understands that. Okay, so with that being said, acceleration alerts are the next thing I want to see. So write this down. I want to see champion setups, then I want to see Pro RT, then I want to see acceleration alerts. Acceleration alerts is taking several of my different strategies and then going ahead and bringing them together, saying, hey, Rob, conditions are really probable we're going to have continuation moves. Okay. And if things are starting to accelerate. All right. So now, so a lot of times I'll see acceleration alerts, and then I will see the next thing I'll show you in a little bit called RTI, the Rapid Trade Identifier. Sometimes they'll kick off on the very same bar, but but the acceleration alerts is a must-have. It's a must-have to continue on the journey for the trade. Okay. To stack the odds in my favor. People wonder, how do I get such high probability opportunities? You'll see as I put all this together and then show you the real markets with real dollars and cents, just even from the last few days, it'll start to come to you. Okay. So it's just important. I'm building these there. All right. And as expected, Rama says, are these alerts for day trading? Rama, these alerts are not just for day trading, they are for swing trading as well. Okay. All right. So as we go in and we take a look here, the key thing is I want you to see you'll get the first dots, but I'm looking to wait till we get 2 sets of dots on the same bar before entering. So this is the first thing that goes into that 2-dot wish list. It's acceleration alerts, and that's made up of several of my trading strategies. Okay. All right. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some more examples. All right. So here you're noticing lots of these acceleration alerts. Lots of acceleration alerts. Think of it as a gas pedal on the market. Okay, think of it as a gas pedal on the market, which is great because if you have the gas pedal on the market and then you have reverse inventory retracement bars, you have the momentum shift breakouts, reverse inventory retracement bars, right? You have the IRBs. If you take those simple strategies, okay, if you take those simple strategies and you have acceleration alerts, notice that you're going to have a much higher probability of success and continuation breaking out and using those patterns if you have acceleration alerts. Pretty much everything in general, statistically, just works a lot better with acceleration alerts. Okay, gang? So just kind of think of it in those terms. All right, now, so let's go ahead. And so I showed you here, just looking back, intraday example, daily example for benefits of people like Rama who asked if it's for day trading only. I just want to emphasize once again, it's not just for day trading, it's for swing trading. I cannot emphasize that enough. All right. And so weekly. So weekly, same thing here. What we're looking for those acceleration alerts again, and then, like I said, reverse inventory retracement bars, IRB, classic IRBs, momentum shifts, speedline continuation trades, stochastic spike trades. They all just work better when you have acceleration alerts. That's what I want you to write down. Okay. Rapid trade identifier. Now, you may look back and say, hey, that kind of looks like those other ones. Trust me, they're not. So what I want you to do is I want you to now look at these, because the combination of these rapid trade identifier tools with the acceleration alerts is deadly. And I'm going to show you how that goes ahead and works together. Okay. And by the way, don't forget, no matter how good of a trading system you have, after you get the big red bar to the downside, back off. Wait for fresh reentry opportunities. Notice what was the very next bar. And this is stuff I don't normally share, so I hope you guys have fastened your seatbelts for tonight. I told you it was going to, in advance, it was going to be a long night, but I'm trying to teach you a couple things I don't necessarily normally share. I'm almost treating this as if this was a Saturday event where, like, hey, we could be here for several hours. My team is absolutely going to murder me. I'm going to have some really upset people tomorrow morning, I have a feeling. But but you guys will love me, and I guess that's important, and then they'll forgive me later. So I'm proud to say that we didn't take any government money, and I didn't lay off any staff. So for all my staff that's listening, hey, don't forget how much you love me, right? And we're here for the people tonight. So it's what we have here. Notice after the big red bar down, a lot of people, that's when they want to short. Okay, that's when they want to short. The thing is that if you use my IRBs, then look what happened. You wouldn't short until it got back down below here, would it, gang? See? And then look what it did. When a classic IRB strategy, it broke back down below the IRB, and what did it do? Whoosh to the downside, right? Classic IRB. Hopefully you guys saw my presentation at Wealth 365. If not, we'll be doing another one in July. But of course, I got with the ITP program, it comes with a ton of training, so you'll pick it up there too. For everybody that has wealth charts, the recordings from the summit were in wealth charts there as well. So but as we take a look here, so we break down below that classic IRB and it whooshes. Now let me just ask you a question. All right, we can't see what's happened after this screen, But just based on what I've taught you, should we short this at the end? Hey, Frank, good evening, my friend. Oh, look at this cast of characters. Mary Ellen and look at this. Frank, I saw Frank up there, Vishnu. All right. Okay, great. No, we don't want to short the big red bar. That's right. We don't want to short the big red bar. Okay. And by the way, I saw a question from a Kenneth R there earlier. Kenneth Rigney. So Kenneth said, what are these charts? Why don't we show the actual chart? So did everybody go ahead and catch that? I was going to show you the strategy, how we use it here, and then we'll go ahead and actually look at like the live charts, look at some money and all that other fun stuff. So type in a number one if you guys all caught that. So we'll keep on track after that. I think a couple people might have either shown up late or didn't pick up what was going on, but that's okay. See, that's why we do this event live and we don't go ahead and record it, because I want to know who gets it and who doesn't. So, all right, good. So you guys understand. So we're going through these examples first. So with rapid trade identifier here, we want to see those firing off, and they are separate from acceleration alerts. They may look like acceleration alerts right now, but they're not. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at one more screen there of weekly. All right. So you see, this is the same weekly chart as I showed you earlier with acceleration alerts, and you see a lot of the same things. But what we're going to do is we're going to put them all together in a moment, and you'll see basically what it is. It's several of my strategies coming together. Okay. And so with that being said, I figured as much, Kenneth. That's why I wanted to go ahead and I get it. People have second careers and stuff and come in late. So, but I did want to let you know I did share that earlier. So but I respect a working man and woman, so I get it. No worries. So as we take a look there, let's now move on and talk about the two of them together. Look at this. Now, in this particular case, they both fired off at the same time. This bar, they fired off at the same time. This one, these two, they did not. Here, they did. Here, they did. Here, they did. And of course, that led to the big sell-off there. Then over here, they started actually firing off at the same time again, and then down the hatch it went. Now over here, notice you had the acceleration alert first. Then the next bar, we had acceleration and RTI. Okay. And so I typically will not take a trade. Write this down. I typically will not take a trade if I have not had at least one acceleration alert and RTI bar both firing off. So in other words, I don't jump the gun with a champion setup and pro RT dot, even though I showed you how powerful those can be, because what I'm trying to do is for all of you here, let me just do this. Type in a number 5 if you're kind of suffering with your confidence right now in trading. Day trading, swing trading, any sort of investing, you're suffering in some way, shape, or form. You're struggling with confidence. You're not pulling the trigger at the right time for the right reasons. You pull the trigger late because you need extra, more and more and more and more confluence, and then it turns around and goes against you. Or you don't pull the trigger at all, and you're like, I'll get the next one. I promise I'll get the next one, right? And so if you're in that situation, yeah, type in a number 5. And I appreciate all the honesty. I'm making sure I'm not naming names, but I appreciate this. Oh yeah, and somebody asked which dot was which. So just go ahead and color code them the way you want. The whole point was I don't care. I really don't care because I want both of them firing off. You can color code them whatever you like. I just look for the double dots, right? So, but typically you will never see RTI without acceleration alert. In other words, usually when one bar is firing off by itself, that is basically an acceleration alert. Typically, you'll never see an RTI fire off without an acceleration alert. Okay, but again, the combination of the two dots means lots of. I want you to think about this. It's Rob in a box. Think about me sitting next to you. Okay. Or think about you wishing I was sitting next to you. It's like, what are you looking for? You're looking to look over to me and say, Rob, what do you think? Right. So that's why it's Rob in a box, because what's happening is it's running through the systems and saying, we have a culmination of Rob Hoffman's work firing off. Does that make sense? So think about it in those terms. Okay. Yes, so acceleration alerts almost always come first, or they come at the same time as RTI. You typically will not have an RTI without an acceleration alert. Okay. All right. So as we go ahead and continue to move on here, let's look at another example. So notice acceleration alert fired off, acceleration alert fired off. Acceleration alert and RTI. Now I'm serious about looking for the trades. Why do I want those? Because the more of those things that are firing off, gang, statistically, I have a higher probability trade. If you're looking at it saying, but Rob, if you would have gotten in down here, you would have made more money. You're not thinking about it. So for all of you said that you were suffering, are you trying to get every dollar out of every trade? Or are you trying to get the meat in the middle and get your confidence back? So type in a number 6 if you're trying to get every dollar from every trade and swing trade and options trade you do, or type in lucky number 7 if you understand that you're actually trying to be consistent and get all the meat in the middle. Thank God we got way more 7s. I think I saw 1 or 2 6s fly by, and everybody else has been 7, because the 6s, they just haven't lost enough money yet. Because if you're trying to get every dime out of every trade, I'm going to tell you right now, bears make money, bulls make money, and pigs get slaughtered. Don't be a pig. Okay. Years ago, my biggest loss in my trading career, many years ago, was going ahead and having this massive run, and I was being a prick. I went ahead, I was the biggest jerk. I'd gone for so long without a trading loss, and I'm like, I got to the point where I got so jerkish that I was like I didn't want to touch a trade for less than a few thousand, dollars. And so like on this trade, I had money, I had profit, and I went ahead and I stayed too long, and then a Federal Reserve chairman came out and blew my trade, and it totally destroyed the trade. So I had to get back to the basics. So it's really important to understand when you break the rules, bad things can happen. So trying to go ahead and get every tick of every oh yeah, so when something like that happens, exactly. So Troy says 94 trades, no loss. So yeah, when you get to that point, Troy, what you literally should do tomorrow, and I know this sounds crazy, I'm not a registered financial representative, let me just remind you guys, I'm not a financial representative. I can't tell you guys what to do, but I'll tell you right now, whenever I go ahead and I get to the point now where I get too many wins in a row, as soon as I start to realize that I am getting that cockiness, that Superman or Wonder Woman complex, as it may be, depending on all of our super awesome women traders, lady traders here, and or the Superman complex for the men. When I start to recognize that Superman complex, just take a small loss, get it off, so you don't get cocky. You know what I'm saying? Just take a small loss so you can't tell anybody, I've had 94 winning trades in a row. Best thing to do is go take a loss. I'm serious. That I can't tell you what to do, but I'll tell you that for me personally, that's what I would do. Because what that does is you set yourself up for a I never want to take a loss again mentality, and you'll become a jerk, and the market will humble you. I promise. Okay, so getting back to this, so let's so now we got the dual momentum. So what's important, the next thing I want to see is I want to see this thing called dual momentum. So for those of you that have been with me for a decade or more, I used to have a thing called Tone Lock Fire, and basically it was a culmination of several of my different works. And what we did was we ultimately, the programmer got it down to 2 bars, and it does some really cool stuff. So I like to look for 2 bars down below for longs, or 2 bars. This is only 1 bar, but 2 bars up here for shorts. Then I also have this thing called the lone wolf strategy, where if you had 2 bars, you quickly go to like 1 dot on the opposite side, and then it goes back to 2 bars. That could be a really great trade. Okay, so for instance, right here, here's another lone wolf on the buy, on the sell side. So we had dual red dots, goes quickly to a blue dot, and then it goes back to the dual dots. Those could be some really, really great trades. Okay, but and we're going to talk more about momentum in a few minutes. So to keep it moving here, because I want to get into all the real money stuff and everything else here. So this is an important section. I got to make sure you guys understand those. So we're going to slow down enough to make sure you understand it. Throttling. So here's what throttling is. Throttling is basically where this top histogram, okay, is equal to, this is where people get it wrong, equal to or greater than the underlying histogram. And both histograms are, for long, above 0. Both histograms are above 0. I get a lot of people that front run this, where like right here, actually right over here, where it's starting to break above on the fast, but the core is still down below, and they end up being premature. So the throttling is where the fast trigger is greater than or equal to. So like right here, they're equal to on this bar here, or greater than. Okay, and so that's what I'm looking for. And then when you have throttling, it means after a pullback, you're expecting statistically a higher high in price. I will say that again. After a pullback, you're expecting a higher high in price. This is so important. Yeah, D, hey D. D says that nugget about the momentum bars was killer. Yeah, so that lone wolf strategy, super powerful. Most people just look at it, oh, does it have the dual momentum? Okay, that's a higher probability trade. They forget about the lone wolf strategy, where it basically has a sharp enough pullback where it goes and fires off a single blue dot in a downtrend, and then rolls right back to double, and so there's your extra sound effects for the evening as well, gang. So you didn't know this. You're going to get sound effects, intense training, and all sorts of other stuff. So so that's important. So going back over here, I'll say this again because it's super important you write this down. When you have throttling, what your expectation is after a pullback, you expect a higher high. This is so important, because what happens to so many of you, I see this happen every single day, and it's the most frustrating thing on the planet. I see people watch a market go up, and then they're like, oh, see, there's that big green bar Rob talked about. See, I can't take a trade anymore. Oh, no, woe is me. I should have taken it earlier when his stuff first started firing off. It's like, gang, if it's throttling, we want to wait for a pullback. We want to pull back now. Let the big green bar start to bleed back. Let them stop out the retail traders who go long at the top of the green bar. Let them stop them out and start to come back and start firing off fresh buy signals, because our expectation is now we're going to make a new higher high. This is a great way for you guys to go ahead and find re-entries. Okay, so there's other tools that come with this, Melvin, that I won't be able to cover tonight, that will pull back into. I mentioned the speed lines, and maybe, you know what? Actually, the good news is I have live charts from like live trading, so I'll be able to show you that in a little bit. So hold that question, Melvin. And let's see, does it count as throttling if the fast trigger has turned purple as the slow trigger has moved up? Okay, so the short answer is it's still still throttling, you're like the throttling, when it's throttling, it's not going to be purple. If it's throttling, then the fast trigger is catching up to. So usually you're not going to see, now here it's throttling over here still, but it was throttling way back here when it was still blue on blue. Okay, the magenta is a short-term pullback within the trend, no doubt. You're really looking for it though when it's over here, as you guys will see in a few minutes. So if you guys bear with me, I promise I'm going to put this all together because this is some really cool stuff, and it just statistically dramatically increases the likelihood of success from my perspective. So here again, throttling here. Fast trigger is above the core trigger. What that means is after a pullback, we are looking for a higher high in price. And if it makes a new throttling along the way, then that means, like right here, you guys see how it throttled again? Can everybody see that? Right over here, it throttled again. That means after another pullback, we're looking for a higher high. Does everybody get that? Type in number 8 if you're with me. Because for all of you who sit there and say, I don't know if I should still be looking for a continuation or if the move's over, this dramatically increases the statistical odds. Hey, Betsy, how you doing, dear? So, okay. We're going to talk more about getting in and timing and all that good stuff. Let's see, one more time. Oh, so the one more time was if we, Pierre, you don't see what I mean by throttling. All right, let's see if I can try this again. All right, Peter, do you see this this blue line with the yellow square? And you too. It's great to have you here, Betsy. Okay. Now, do you see this yellow line or where this yellow square where now it's a thicker, darker blue, thicker bar histogram underneath here? That's called the core trigger. This one's the fast. When the fast is equal to or greater than the core one, that's what throttling is. Okay. Okay, and Sean says, if you expect higher prices when throttling, why not put a long call since you're looking for a higher high anyways? Okay, so no problem. You can, first of all, you can always put your favorite options strategy. Since you use the words call, I assume you mean, actually literally a call. And you absolutely can put your favorite options strategy around it, right? So here, let's go back to that Netflix. Since I had that darn Netflix up, we might as well take advantage of it. So here's Netflix. All right, we have a bunch of things firing off over here. We have acceleration and RTI. Can everybody see we also had throttling down here? And here, maybe through the webinar, it might show up better as white mode. So I'll put I'll put white light mode on. Okay, so here we had acceleration alerts. Here we have acceleration and RTI. Here we have dual momentum. And then here you can see the fast triggers above the core trigger. Can you guys see that? So what are we looking for? That's right, the turbocharger is kicking in. You better believe it, Mark. So then what we're looking for is a push up. Now, after the pullback, then we're looking for a higher high, which is what we got with Netflix here. Okay. And by the way, this was not planned or anything else. Now, the person that asked a little bit ago, I said, oh, I'll be showing you some live charts. This other stuff here, these little lines here come with ITP as well. And so that's what we're looking to pull back into and then expecting the resumption to higher highs. Okay. So, but by the way, just FYI, when you make a higher high in price, but you do not make a higher high in the trigger, back off. That's called a negative divergence, and then you watch out for the market. For all of you that were with me earlier this year, I talked with you extensively, about the negative divergence I saw in the market. I showed you every day. Type in a number 1 if you guys remember how every darn day I was coming out here, and talking about the negative divergence in the stock market day after day after day leading up to the Corona crash. Day after day after day, I was going ahead and coming out there for you guys. And, what ended up happening? Kablammy. Yeah, I mean, if you were watching me, you know it all too well. And so because what we had was we had a higher high in price, but my indicators, this is a clean chart for my nightly video, so I don't have that on there now. But if I put my ITP on here, hey, you know what? That's the benefit of you guys being with me live. Some of you guys will bail out and won't stay till the end, and that's okay. But for all of you that do, you're going to be better people for it. So let me just go ahead and kind of show you what was happening here. And so I just put ITP on here. And so what you'll notice is, if you go back and watch my nightly videos, it's all there for you to see. The January to February timeframe, basically all through the beginning of February, I was warning every single video, basically. I was warning there. If you look, we were making a higher high in price, but we were not making the higher high. Let me just make that a little more dramatic for you to see. Okay. Look at that, gang. So I was pointing this out in my nightly videos constantly to you. Constantly, I was pointing this out. Both the core trigger and the fast trigger are making lower lows while we're making higher highs, and the end of the world as we know it. Okay, really great stuff. All right, so there you have it. So Rick, there you have it. Rick said, please tell me how your indicators forewarned the crash. Well, there you have it, right? So does that make sense, gang? Because I went ahead and I said it, and I get the impression that Rick is one of those people who has to see it. So let's go ahead and see if we can help Rick out here a little bit. Okay, so if we go on down here, okay, that's April. Sorry, this is live television, gang, but that's okay because every group needs a Rick, so we have somebody to talk to. Oop, I went too far. Let's go back one here. All right, so let's go back to March here. All right, so here, great kickoff to the week with negative divergence trades. Great close to the week with negative divergence trades. BC says, we trust you don't. That's okay. Hey, you know what? There's no substitute for real money and showing that you said stuff, right? So right here, there was a couple there, and then negative divergence trades. So I was constantly doing it. So let me just go ahead and open one of these. I have no idea what I'm looking at but I'm sure. Okay, so this was Ziad doing part of the video there. Ziad, was this when I lost my voice and you were speaking for me here? I'm not sure if Ziad can unmute his microphone. Unmute. Ziad, are you unmuted? Let's see, because that one, Ziad did that one for us. He talked about the negative divergence trades. Let's see if I lost my voice. If you guys remember at the beginning of the February, I got really sick, which now looks like it might have been coronavirus. So let's see here. Oh, there it is. Okay, so there you have it. I was pointing out the negative divergences, Rick. And so then I was talking about my trading strategies. So so bottom line is, I was talking about them. You can go back, watch the free videos for yourself, see it all day long till the cows come home. So yes, so I said it in advance. All right.
And I was there for it as well, Rob.
Yes, you were, because you were actually covering. Well. Yeah, because you were covering some of the videos. I got really sick, which almost seemed like, in hindsight, 2020, but it almost seemed like maybe that was coronavirus at that point, since I got so sick for 3 weeks.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. You went down for the count for a couple of days.
Yeah, it was really bad. So needless to say, we went in. So nice pullback with the negative divergence trade we've been sharing with you. So I spent weeks talking about that. And so hopefully that goes ahead and makes sense there. But anyways, that's okay. That's just to prove that, yes, I said it in advance and that happened. All right. So with triggering, with throttling, what we're looking for is if we make throttling, then we're expecting after a pullback that we should make a higher high in price. Now, where we're going to get nervous is when we make a higher high in price, but we don't make a higher high. Like in this case, made a higher high in price and a higher high in the trigger. But if you don't, if it makes a negative divergence, so like let's say right here, where it's making a higher high from here to here, but this doesn't make a higher high. Let's just say it was going like this, then you're going to be concerned that it's going to actually turn around and roll over. Okay, so it's a great way to tell. So let's go ahead and see if we can speed through some of these live trading examples here. By the way, in the interest of full disclosure, this is not a simulated account. Hey Z, okay, I just got a message from you, but I think you're unmuted now. I think I just heard you.
We're all good to go.
Okay, great. So so as we take a look, this is all real money. Okay, and what's nice is remember we just talked about divergences, so you can see the backdrop. The market was coming down, but look what happened here, gang. Notice that we made a lower low in price, but we did not make the lower low in the fast trigger. What did the market do? So this is really important. This is really important. Yeah, no, Chu, I have not been tested. I really don't know if I had, but it was the sickest I'd been, and it was, I don't want to give details, but in the middle of the night, I was like hacking up a lung, like fluids were coming out of my lungs that just never happened when I got sick before. It was like really crazy stuff, right? I don't want to get into it too much, but it was like I felt like I was drowning in the middle of the night, and it was pretty crazy. So I'd never had a sickness like that before, and it was 3 weeks, so it was pretty crazy. So I have not been tested, but so but right here, so what happens then is it turns around. What do we have over here? Okay. Now, notice here, it makes a higher high in price, but not a higher in indicator. So now we're watching for it to possibly pull back deeper, which it did. But then it came back and started pulling back up here again, more throttling, pull back to that channel that I was telling you was so important, and then went ahead and went up again, but then it made the higher high in price, did not make the higher high in indicators, and then had a deeper cut, and then it rolled over from there. So it's real important that the triggers can really tell you when to look for another move up after a pullback into the rising supports. And of course, it's the opposite for a short, right? For a short, you're looking for the throttling to the downside and then a pullback into the fall, and then looking for a lower low. But if it makes a lower low in price and not a lower low in the indicators, then you start watching out for the reversal to the upside. And that was about $1,000 gross profit that day. All right. So here now, take a look. Oh, there's that big negative divergence again we were talking about just a little bit ago. I guess if I just waited a little bit longer, I wouldn't have had to have gone and put the other one on for you. But that's okay, because I used this, right? Because I was showing you guys this, because Ziad, you're here, so you remember this was the day down here when everybody thought I was insane in the live trading room. You remember that? Because I basically called the bottom, and people went, and I said, we're now going to start watching for those big, nobody's going to believe them moves to the upside. Remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember that day.
And so
fun one indeed.
It was a fun one indeed, but people were they're like, you're insane. You're crazy for looking for long side trades. But look what happened here, gang. Okay. So the market had made a really deep cut to the downside. Okay. It was one of the widest bars in recent history. Okay. And then notice here on the intraday chart, we made a lower low in price, but not a lower low in indicators. Can everybody type in a number 2 if you see that? Rodney says, I remember that day. Kevin says, you called it back up. So yeah, you guys remember from the trading room, anybody who's in the trading room, because it was kind of a big deal because people thought I was insane. Who in their right mind would have thought the market was going to reverse at that point? Well, except for my group when I pointed out live. But so the thing is that what happened here was, so we had this positive divergence, right, gang? All right, great. There you go. Dr. Bill says it ain't bragging if you can back it up. And well, Dr. Bill, I always say things I can back up. So so with that being said, look what happened then. It started to push up here, but notice, gang, is this throttling? Who can tell me? Give me a yes, Y if it's throttling. Give me an N if it's not throttling. Y or N? Y or N? Right here. Kind of looks like throttling to me. I mean, it's like taking off there on that fast trigger. Okay, so fortunately, the vast majority, you said no. No, this is not throttling here because the core trigger is still under the neutral line. But look over here, and you'll notice that we actually did get the core trigger and the fast trigger above, and that's when it took off like gorgeous, like bat out of hell, took off. You'll notice here it had acceleration alert, then it had acceleration alert and RTI. There's your double dot system. Okay, if you look down below, you had the double blues. I like blues and the dark mode, so but I also like light mode. So, but anyways, sorry if it doesn't show up as well for you guys. But the so what happened was you had the double blue momentums, and then down here you had the throttling. So you had throttling. What does throttling mean? After you get this first beautiful move up, if the market starts to pull back, should I worry? Should I sit there and go ahead and who said that? Sam, good job. Sam says, I think I see a lone wolf trade. Absolutely. So you're absolutely right, Sam. You had the dual momentums. It went back to brief interruption, the opposite direction, and then went back to the intended direction again. And what did it do, Sam? Shot off like a bat out of heck, pulled back. Now, again, this is where most of us get it wrong. We get it wrong because instead of looking at this pullback as an opportunity, what do? Oh, good thing I didn't take that trade. Oh, God, that would have been another one of those losers. Oh, I'm so glad I didn't take that trade. And then a little bit later, like, oh, no, I knew I should have taken that trade. All right. Sound familiar? So you guys see, and that was good for about $3,600 gross profit. And I just want to let you guys know I certify, well, you can see the word live here. So it's kind of like, I guess it's pretty obvious, but a lot of people hide this stuff. A lot of people put out trades and they call it live trading because they have a pulse. Live trading is when it's in your live account and real money is on the line. That is live trading, not because you have a pulse and you're trading on a simulator. Okay. So fortunately, like I said, I put the dome up there. You can see the live. Also, for anybody who knows these platforms, it's a baby blue color if it's a simulator. It's gray only if it's live. But $3,600 gross profit there. And that market took off like a bat out of hell. And Ziad, you remember that was the day where I said, hey, ding dong, the witch is dead. And we remember what did I call it, Z? Melt up. We were looking for a melt up. You remember that?
And we did indeed. It was a beautiful time.
That's right. So I know BC. B says, I can't wait to hear how to get these. It's getting really late. I know it's late for you. But you please bear with me. So with that being said, so as we take a look here, that because BC, where were you located again? The trading platform, this is Wealth Charts, and now so this is a standalone dome, but now Wealth Charts actually has its own integrated dome as well, which I can show you a picture of in a little bit, so you can actually trade within the charts if you have the integrated broker. But moving on from this, so here's another one. So take a look here. This is real important, gang. Here's the red dot champion setup. Here's the Pro RT. Okay, now what do we have after that? We're looking for double dots. We're looking for throttling. And then after throttling, if we get a pullback, let me say that again. After throttling, if we get a pullback, do we say, oh man, good thing I didn't short. That would have been one of those losers. Or do we say, holy cow, I need to start paying attention to get a short on? So option 1 or option 2? Thank gosh I didn't trade, or, oh man, I got to pay attention. I'm looking for a trade now. You make me proud. Not a single person said number 1. That's good news. I'm getting through to people. Sure enough, looking for the move down. By the way, there's stuff I can't teach tonight. like the stochastic spike, M pattern cells, a whole bunch of things. The good news is, if you guys get the ITP course at the end of the night, I'm going to be giving you access to a bonus set of a whole bunch of my training, 60 hours of all my different trading setups and stuff like that. So, so there's a whole bunch of things that follow on with this to make them higher probability trades. That's why the stochastic comes with this as well. We're not going to cover it very much tonight, but trust me, it's important. Ziad will tell you. And yeah, it's this was the very end of the day. You see, so the stock market was closed at that point. So the dome gets weird like that when the market closed after 3:15 Central Time, from 3:15 to 3:30. That's why it's weird like that. But I want to take the picture, and sometimes I don't remember to take a picture at all, which is why I don't even show you guys profits or tell you about profits if I don't have the dome or whatever. So but anyways, that was good for about $1,300 gross profit. So looking at here again. All right, so now we have the red dot, the yellow dot, red dot. What did I say, gang? If we're in a downtrend, what did I say about green dots in a downtrend? Who can remind me? Melvin, it's extremely high from my perspective, and that's why this is such an important strategy. The throttling is an extraordinarily high percent probability. So it's one of the highest probability things I know. All right, and let's see. All of you guys said it's a fresh short signal. That's right. If a buy doesn't buy in a downtrend, then maybe it's a good time to sell. Exactly. Nice job, gang. Good job. See, that's what I told you. By the time I'm done with this, this will be old hat. So that was good for about $2,400 gross profit there. Oh, by the way, I got to show you something though. Okay. So of course, all sorts of additional things here like IRB breakdowns, momentum shift, these triangles in the downtrend, momentum shifts. But remember, if you make a lower low in price, but you're not really making lower lows commensurate in the trigger, should you keep selling or should you back off? Yeah, Gus, this is for stocks, ETFs, Forex, futures. And of course, by default, if you're an options trader, what you're doing is you're looking at the underlying instrument with this, determining the direction, and then you're putting on your favorite options trade there. And thank you. All of you that said that's a positive divergence or back off, you are correct. Okay. A friend is trying to get on here. Is it too late? There's a lot of people here, so maybe it is locked out. I'm sorry, George. I got the gang here, and that's all I can work with. So maybe on Saturday I'll open it up like in the Zoom room, borrow the Zoom room from Well 365, and so I can let an unlimited number of people in. But tonight only 1,000 people can be here. So special event, not recorded, just here for you guys. All right. So great job, gang. You guys did great with this. All right, so that was good for about $2,400 there. So keep that in mind. You got the champion setups. So what happened was champion setups actually fired off over here. Then you had Pro RT. Then you had another champion setup, failed one that fired off with a fresh champion setup sell over here. So all these things kind of came together, and then you had double dots firing off. Then you end up getting IRB breakdown sell, and of course when we break down below an IRB, which also happened to be a momentum shift, which does happen occasionally or frequently, I'd even say. Then of course you look for a whoosh, and then you're looking for continuations. Okay, so here's another one. Now this was a bigger day. This was one of those big move days in the market where the market shot up here. If you look, the market was down here around 2,500, shot up there to 2,580, and then had bigger moves later in the day too. So these were huge move days. But look there's my champion setup. There's my Pro RT. Can everybody see the dot over here? And then can you see the double dots over here? And then can you see that this is actually bona fide throttling with dual momentum? So I have the dual momentums and I have throttling. And if you make a, if you throttle after pullback, what are you expecting? If you see throttling after a pullback, you're expecting what? A higher high. That's right. And then if you get a higher high in price and a higher high in the underlying instrument, then after a pullback, so that's why all this rising support is so important here, because then this opens up the fresh reentries. And look what happened, gang. The champion setups and Pro RT fired off at the same time. Okay. Then over here we got the green and the dual green, so the acceleration alert and RTI, dual momentums, and in a good way, throttling. What did it do there? Shot up another 20 points right there. That was 20 points. Doesn't look like much from a distance. That was 20 S&P points. That adds up real fast. $1,000 a contract. Okay. Let alone what happened over here. Now, look what happened over here, though. Hey, gang, wait a minute. Hold on now. Follow along with me. Awesome. Pulled right back into my support. So what am I looking for? Because we had throttling. Remember, if your fast trigger is equal to or greater than your core trigger, is it equal to or greater than my core trigger here, gang? What do you think? You better believe it. Right there. Right there. It was absolutely equal to or greater. And by the way, if it's that hard to tell, then it's okay. It qualifies, right? So what are we looking for? After a pullback, we're looking for another higher high. But what happens? What happens? Yes, who said that? Who said that? Joseph S. Excellent. Joseph Sarto. Very good. Joseph Sarto says, Lone Wolf. I can't believe how many of you guys are getting the Lone Wolf tonight. I am so proud of you. Seriously, I honestly can't remember. Z, can you remember how many any of the past events where so many people pointed out the Lone Wolf? I honestly
People
don't
are
remember
super
that.
hungry today and super attentive.
They're super attentive. So that's awesome. And so sure enough, your dual momentum, it went back very quickly. It went back very quickly to red, and then went right back to went right back to blue, the other W, and off to the races it went. But now what do we have? Okay, so look over here towards the right edge. Should I keep buying at this point? Yes or no? If yes, why? If no, why? Let's see how many of you are super attentive. All right, very good. For all of you that said no because of the negative divergence, you are 100% correct. Back off. Gang, this system, this strategy, this is how you know when on the pullback, you should be looking for re-entry opportunities and higher highs, or that no, you know what? I'm done. I'm out now. We're making higher highs in price, lower highs in indicators. I'm done. This is that secret formula, if you want to call it that. Okay, this is that tool I use. Ziad's here. He spends most of the time in my trading room. He'll tell you we focus on this. It tells you when to push trades and tells you when to back off. It's throttling is super important. Okay,
it's the lifeblood of the ITP package. Well, one of the most important core pillar, I would say.
It's a pillar. It's a pillar because it comes after everything else. You want to make sure you have your champion setup. You want to make sure you have your pro RT. You want to make sure you have your acceleration alert. Then you want to make sure you have your acceleration alert and RTI. Then you got to make sure you have your dual momentum, and then you want to go ahead and see your triggers going up. They don't have to be going throttling, but if they're going throttling, you know you have a hell of a statistical probability. Okay. And that was good for about $11,800 gross profit. Okay. Because then that same day, then the market went after that. Sorry, actually, I had this out of order, I think. I apologize. So it started out in the morning. This was one of those days, Z, where I was going ahead and these are actually inverse. This is how it started out. A lot of these days started out like it was going to be the end of the world as we know it, and then it went ahead and reversed in the afternoons. If you guys remember that several weeks ago, it's the end of the world as we know it. And I'm like, but I feel fine, because I was just waiting for the reversals to come back up, right? Hey, that put a lot of money in my pocket, Z, if you remember.
Absolutely.
But to the downside, so let's look at the downside, which was in the morning. Did they identify the downside? Okay. That's right, Brian. Hey, buddy. And hey, Dancel. Thanks for being here, guys. So red champion setup, yellow pro RT. And by the way, you color these how you want, right? Then, okay, there's your acceleration alert. Up, there's your acceleration alert and RTI. Let's go back up here above. Acceleration alert, RTI. Hey, look at that. We got dual momentums. Check, 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 check. Let's go back down below. Hey, we got throttling. Throttling, gang. So what does that mean? Down the hatch. Look at these moves. Look at these moves here, right? That was like 25.50 down here to nearly 25.20, nearly 30-point moves in the S&P. It's like $1,500 a contract. So, but what was happening? We were making a lower low in price and a lower low in indicators, and we got fresh throttling. So what does that mean? After a pullback, we're expecting an even lower low. Well, what did it do? It made a lower low, and then it throttled again. So if it throttles again, now what are we expecting? An even lower low. Oh, but then it made a lower low in price and not the lower low in indicators. So that's when it turned around then and did this. Are you guys understanding this? I made 11,000 freaking dollars in cash, gross profits here. So in other words, not with taxes, not whatever commissions and exchange fees, whatever, all that stuff. So gross profits there. I mean, over $11,000 using the freaking strategy that we're talking about. Am I making sense? Do you see it? Does everybody see it? Right here, champion setups. Right here, pro RT. Right here, acceleration alert. Right here, acceleration alert RTI. Check, 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 check. Okay. Dual momentums. Yep. Got to have both of those going. Okay. Got it. Going down below, throttling. I love throttling in this situation because that means we're making lower lows. And if it lower lows with more throttling, it means after a pullback into that great channel, the guy from earlier, the gentleman, I forget his name now, and I apologize, but Kenneth, I think it was, Kenneth R., was like, or somebody was like, or look at real charts. Well, by God, we're looking at real charts, folks, and we're looking at real profits. You understand what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and take a look at more examples there. So this is the same day because at the time I was using my old charting platform and my new charting platform, and I only use my new one now because it has so many more advantages for me. But so at the time, so this is the same thing going on then into with wealth charts. And so look what happened. All right, so there's your acceleration alert. Here's your acceleration alert and your RTI. Can you guys see it? There's your dual momentums. There's your triggers to the upside. Gang, take a look at what we're talking about here. For the love of God, look at these numbers, okay? Like right here, you're talking around 2590 area, and it shot up there to 2690. It went up 100 points. That's like $5,000 a contract into the end of that session. You can't make this stuff up. Z, you were there. You remember all this. And it was throttling like crazy, and it just kept going and going and going. It was after I called the bottoming there, and it was giving those buys when nobody wanted to buy, and that's real money. Okay.
I remember that day, and we had a ton of fun in the active trader room that day.
Yes, we did. So then we look here. So now here, okay, so let's go look at the last couple of days because I realized last week that some of the nightly videos that I did for you guys, let me just pull those over for a moment. I realized here, so I was going back. Let Speaking of going back, let's go back. So I told you I won't show you profits, or I won't talk about profits if I didn't have the dome to show it. But like here, I was looking back earlier in the week and I realized, oh crud, when I did a video. So like I had some really great trading here in this nightly video, but then I realized it was one of those nights where I forgot to show the dome. So there was a big sell-off there. You guys remember there was a big sell-off Tuesday afternoon? Can you guys all see my indicators? I can't show you the profits. I'm not going to tell you how much I made because I don't have the profits. But Wealth Finder and Wealth Charts triggered off some sell signals, and so some sell warnings. And so then I went to my ITP indicators, and when my ITP indicators started going ahead and firing off, then I knew I had a real trade there. And down the hatch it went. Can you guys see there was dual dots in there? Can you see the dual momentums up above? Can you see the throttling down below? So this was on Tuesday of last week, and I realized I didn't show a dome, so I can't tell you how much I made. But you guys see that big honk? You guys remember the big honk and sell-off into Tuesday afternoon last week? I sure do. So anyways, but you guys could see all the indicators, there. So I can't, talk about profits because if I can't show it to you on screen, it didn't happen from my perspective. That's just how I roll. So let's just pick up on the last couple of days. How's that sound? Okay. So actually, Christian, I'm getting up to that. So actually that update was released on Friday officially. I was using it privately, exactly. So I was using it privately at that point as a pre-release, the beta. So things were firing off, and then all you got to do is wait for ITP to actually say, yep, it's real, it's ready to go. And that's just a deadly combination. So here, let's just go pick up where I found domes later in the week. So because obviously I can't go back and recreate a dome, right? So I either had to remember to take a picture at that time or whatnot. So right here, take a look here. This is my wealth charts. There's my green dot. There's my champion setup. There's my pro RT. Can everybody see then? There's my acceleration alert and RTI. Can everybody see it? Right there. Now, if I have both those, I need to look down below. Okay, I've got both bars. And by the way, my thing did this really weird graphic thing. And it painted it blue partially. It was this really weird, like sci-fi thing that happened. And I hit refresh and it was gone. But so there was two blue bars here. But then look down below, it was throttling. Can you guys see the throttling? And what does that mean? You're expecting higher highs. And then if it throttles where you're making higher highs in price and you're getting more throttling, that means after a pullback, you're looking for higher highs. And if it throttles when it pulls back, what does that mean? It means you're looking for higher highs. But then if it makes higher highs without the trigger, it means back off, right, gang? Can you guys see it? This was Thursday of last week. You guys see it? So let's do that again. Okay. You guys want to see real money? Let's talk about real money. Well, we showed you a bunch of real money earlier, but you know what I mean. Like, let's look at recent, right here in the here and now. We'll look at the last several days. Thursday, champion setups, pro RT, acceleration alert, RTI, check. Dual momentums, and in this case, we had throttling. Boom. Okay. Pulls back into my rising support, off to the races again. It makes when it goes off to the races, not only is it firing off all my signals, there's my all the wonderful things I'm looking for, the double dots and everything else. So, and by the way, if you're looking at these ranges, gang, these ranges alone is like 10 S&P points right there. Okay. And like this is like 15 S&P points. If you can't catch a little bit of that, there's something wrong. Okay. So here we are. We're making a higher high in the price after the pullback. We make a higher high in price, which is exactly what we want to do. But this time now we're making a lower high with my indicators, and then you back off. Okay, so here was another example of it right here on the same day. So this was in the morning time frame. This was like right at lunch, I should say. And then this was in the afternoon. And so it went ahead and did it Thursday into the afternoon. So here we go. There's your champion setups. There's your Pro RT. Here's your dual acceleration alert RTI. Here's your throttling. Okay, makes a higher high. It does start to throttle basically again. So after the pullback, I'm willing to go ahead and take another re-entry. All right. And then it went ahead and took off and made the higher high. Okay, this was into the close at that point. I got out of it though, because I think I feel like I came into the room or something, or I talked to you. I can't remember what happened there, so I guess we won't even quote what happened. But I can tell you what happened with P&L. It was about $2,500 gross profit there. Okay, so I can tell you what happened there. And by the way, I want to note something here with Wealth Finder. So Wealth Finder was firing off crude oil on Thursday on 60-minute, 120-minute charts, so on and so forth. And we're going to talk about crude oil in just a moment. So that was good for about $2,500+ real profit, gang, gross profit there. And this was at the end of the session when the market was closing right there. And then Friday, Wealth Finder, Wealth Charts announced a big release. And so I came into the trading room right when it went live for everybody to go ahead and look at, had new indicators put in, had new tools for Wealth Charts users, because Wealth Charts is like constantly doing really kick butt stuff. I'm very biased, and rightfully so, but you see the money I'm making with it right now, so I'm pretty happy. So, but what happened was that I came into the room and Z was there, so he'll tell you. So I went ahead and I actually came into the room when it was down over this area. I was right before 11 o'clock, and at that time too, crude oil was firing off on all the different time frames. In fact, you can see it there: 15-minute, 30-minute, 60-minute, 120-minute, 240-minute charts for more than 5 bars, gang. Okay, so huge buy signals, and then it went and fired off buy signals. So I told people in the room, hey gang, this great new feature with Wealth Charts, the Wealth Finder, is just firing off these really great trades in crude oil right now. And so what ended up happening was, then what you do is you wait. See, in this case, when it was firing off over here, you did not have ITP. And so it was kind of this back and forth. Wealth Finder was saying, hey, there's a great opportunity here. But then what ended up happening was it started firing off the trading opportunities over here. And then you started getting throttling. And then it pulled back. Then it made a higher high with more throttling, pull back right into that same support, and then it went even higher. It shot here, gang, from 29 30 area up to, by the time it was done, it was over 29.80. This is on the future, the crude oil equivalent, and the actual one, so it was over $500 per contract profit opportunity in crude oil. Really phenomenal.
That might have actually happened when you came into the room and announced the update. And we just kind of identified, you just said, hey, it's firing off on all of the time frames, and then the
that ITP was over here.
Kicked in.
That was over here. When it was over here, I came into the room and I made the announcement, because it was right back over here. Because this went live at like 11:30 that morning. I came into the trading room like at 11:40, 11:45-ish approximately, Central Time, that is, gang, Central Time. And so at that time, that was right back over here, okay? And Wealth Finder was firing off a bunch of alerts, and the higher time frames were firing off alerts. So then what you do is you don't take the trade right there when Wealth Finder fires off the initial alert. You wait for your ITP signals to fire off an alert, and by God, now you got a heck of an opportunity. Does that make sense? Type in lucky number 7 if that makes sense to everybody. So Wealth Charts and Wealth Finder fired off a signal as a pre-alert saying, hey, check this out. Conditions are ripe for an entry. So then you go over to with your ITP indicators that many of you guys already have and are getting this evening. And then you have this deadly combination where the ITP, if they're firing off, now you got this incredible opportunity here. But I called it out in advance. And then over the next hour, it exploded to the upside. Okay, so really, really, really great stuff. And then this is what happened, on the back end of that. Okay, so and Z and everybody in the room will remember that. So, all right. So as we go ahead and take a look here, exactly, Mary Ellen says, nice to get a heads up for sure. So exactly. So that's what Wealth Finder does in wealth charts, gives you the heads up. And then if you got ITP, well, now it's no longer just a heads up. Now it's like, now you're waiting. It's like that pre-warning warning, right? So for those of you that have psychological issues, I know that sounds bad, but you know what I mean. Those of you that have like, get your guts up, or you need time to mentally prepare to get into a trade, whatever the case may be. Well, this is a swing trade. Maybe it's a swing trade. Maybe this is a multi-day mental process for you. Should I buy it? Should I not buy it? Should I put the options trade on? Should I not put the options trade on? Well, this gives you time. Wealth Finder gives you the time to say, hey, hello, McFly, pay attention. Hello. Systems are firing here. You better be ready. All right. And then when your ITP fires off there, you're already long since ready to go and in the game. It's a huge opportunity there. And like I said, so people got to watch that unfold before their eyes on Friday. So let's talk about yesterday. So yesterday, this is pre-hours, and by the way, early morning hours. In the interest of full disclosure, if I recall correctly, I repeat, I did not trade this morning session yesterday. So I missed this first move. I was not able to go ahead. Obviously, as many of you guys know, while I'm a trader at heart, I'm a father, and I run 4 international companies. We're hiring staff right now in a time where a lot of people were letting people go and having to go on whatever it's called, PPP, or whatever that paycheck protection program, so PPP program is. We're hiring people because Wealth Charts has taken off like a rocket, and all the development and sort of programmers, customer service, everything else. So Monday morning I was just like overwhelmed, so I didn't really do any trading here. But we had the tools firing off. It's a little bit harder to see here. The dots snuggled up over here, but you had the champion setups and you had the Pro RT. Then right here you had the acceleration alerts firing off. Here on this bar right here, you had acceleration and RTI. By the way, I did trade yesterday. I'll show you the profits, but I just didn't trade this morning run because I was unable to. This is no different than several of you that have full-time jobs, second careers, whatever the case may be. And so what's nice about ITP is you can just come in at the moment where you're able to be in, and you can ask yourself, do I still have a viable trade? Oh, wow. Check this out. I've got acceleration alerts, RTI are firing off. I've got dual momentum. I've got throttling. Holy cow. This thing's going to go higher, right? Did you guys just catch that? This thing's going to go higher. So I can come in no matter where I'm at in the day and ask myself, even if I couldn't watch for the last several hours, it doesn't matter. With the ITP, I can pick up where I left off. All right. So I did not trade, as I recall, this section right here, but I did trade over here. And so what ended up happening, so the market ended up tapering out for a while, but then look what happened. It took off to the upside. And by the way, I don't know if you guys can see, here's the champion setup. Here's the Pro RT. Can you guys see that? Let me just circle those for you. There's champion setup. There's Pro RT. And then over here, there's acceleration alert. There it is. Acceleration alert and RTI. You guys see it? All right, so let's go through the rest of this. I hope to God this is making sense, because this is what I'm looking at right now. This is what you got to understand this. That's all I can say. So then I had dual momentum, and then look, we had throttling, gang. So every one of these, momentum shift with trends, momentum shift breakouts, momentum shift with trends, momentum shift breakouts, the reverse inventory retracement bar, reverse inventory retracement bar, every single one of those became fresh reentry opportunities. Speed line continuation trades here, every single one of those, full stochastic spikes, half spikes, hockey stick buys. For all of you that know my work, you know all these different setups and strategies. Those all become entry and re-entry opportunities on the way up here, right? Type in a number 1 if you recognize even one of these strategies, setups, tools that I've now just shown you. Do you see the champion setup? Do you see the Pro RT? Do you see the acceleration alert? Do you see acceleration RTI? Do you see the dual momentum? Do you see the throttling? Do you see momentum shift breakouts? Do you see reverse inventory retracement bars? Do you see full spikes? Do you see hockey stick buys? Because all it takes is just seeing one of those. Okay. And then here was another one into later in the session. So this was late day yesterday afternoon. And so what happened there was we had champion setups. Champion setups and Pro RT firing off on the same bar. So what are we looking for next? Acceleration alert and RTI. If we got both of those, we're looking for dual momentums. And if you got throttling, that's bonus. And what ended up happening was the market had another final run. Not its biggest, most impressive run, like several of the other runs, but it had a run nonetheless. Okay, there was the profits. $1,250 gross profit yesterday. Okay. Hey, thanks, Kavita. Appreciate that. Okay. All right. So Riz, that's okay. So Riz says if you miss the CF and the Pro RT, when is the best time to get in? Well, remember, Riz, the way I'm showing this, it's okay to miss those first ones. It's okay to miss those because you still have all the bars in between before acceleration alert and RTI fired off. So even if you miss that, that's okay. That's the whole point of what I was saying was if you have a second job, you have a second career, you're taking care of kids like I am who are home right now, not in school and stuff like that. You got to miss something. That's okay. I got to take an important phone call, whatever. That's okay. The question is, when I come back, do I have the conditions in place for a trade? And if I had throttling and I feel like it's gone up too much, and I don't want to take a buy signal up here, like for instance, like here, this is a classic IRB buy. But maybe I'm sitting there saying, but you know what? It already moved up all this. Okay, you know what? I'm going to wait for it to pull back a little bit more and pull back into that deeper rising support and take a fresh entry off of the rising support, right? And so go long down here. So it doesn't matter if you miss this down here, because if you're doing it the way I'm showing you tonight to stack the odds in your favor, it really doesn't matter. Does that make sense? It really doesn't matter. And yes, David, we have the radar screen for TradeStation for ITP. Yep. All right. So and that was good yesterday. I guess it says the 19th, right? So so that was good for about $1,250 gross profit. All right, then here's today. Okay, so here's today. Help me out here, gang. Can anybody see why I might have been looking for a long today? Okay, yep. All right, yep, call them out. That's great. Yes, call them out. Okay, good. Yep, champion setups, check. Okay. Pro RT, check. The acceleration alert, awesome. Acceleration alert and RTI, yep. Okay, then I want to look, do I have dual momentum? Yep. And as a bonus round, I even had, what's this little thing down here called when it looks like that? Throttling. Exactly, right? Okay, so now with throttling, that opens up stochastic spike trades, trades into the channel, half spikes, Reverse inventory retracement bar, reverse inventory retracement bar, momentum shift breakout, momentum shift breakout, momentum shift breakout, reverse inventory retracement bar, inventory retracement bar. All those breaking above any one of those opens up a fresh re-entry opportunity, or on the pullback that creates the half spike or the full spike. Okay. So, and today this was good for about $1,350. And the day started out like crap. Not because I lost any money, but Ziad, you'll remember right at 9 o'clock Central Time this morning, it looked terrible. The 1 minute charts were sideways and technically damaged. The 2 minute charts were sideways, technically damaged. The hourly chart looked like it hadn't had a pulse all night long.
Yeah, there was more chop suey than in a restaurant this morning.
Exactly. And so it was sideways and chopping. And then all of a sudden, Champion Setups, Pro RT kicked in, and the rest of the ITP indicators kicked in. We had throttling, so that it pulled back after the throttle. What do we expect if it pulls back? So look what happened. After a throttling, we expect, after a pullback into the rising support, we expect a higher high. But if the higher high makes a higher high in price, but not the indicators, what do we want to do? Back off, right, gang? Back off. Gang, you got to know this stuff, because if you're keeping up with the score from just the last couple of days and just the profits I could show you, because I went ahead and had the domes to prove it to you. Just these couple of days alone was like $5,100+ gross profit there. If you're keeping up on current events, you might want to keep up on that. Okay. So then as we go ahead and we take a look over here, it did it again. And this was later in the session. This was in the afternoon. And so I ended up focusing on a long side trade over here. Now, this is important because the market went ahead and fired off Pro RT and ITP, and then we started getting the signals again. So it had throttling, but then it made a higher high, but not this. So then it pulled back a little bit deeper into the rising channel. So then it started to fire back off again with fresh signals. And so that's where I was looking at. So this one wasn't a barn burner, but it added. That's, I still ended up grossing $1,325 today with that. And then, by the way, after this, then the market had the negative divergence and then tanked. And then let's take a look at the tanking. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, because I always tell you what I do and versus what I don't do. So I want to go ahead and make sure that you guys, get this. So I told Ziad will tell you, I told everybody, hey, look, I got to get ready for tonight's class. I've already grossed, a bunch of money. I'm perfectly happy. I'm not going to trade the last several minutes of the day. So then all of a sudden I saw this great trading opportunity break, and I'm like, nope, I'm not going to do it. I told people I wasn't going to do it. So I went ahead and I didn't. But if I wouldn't have been in that condition where I was getting ready for tonight, I'm telling you right now, I would have made a bunch of my on the way down here, because what do we have? Champion Setup, Pro RT, you have acceleration alert, RTI, dual momentum, and then you had the triggers going down. And then by over here, you had throttling. And so what does that mean? After a pullback, we expect to make lower lows. Well, it did. Well, then we made lower lows in throttling, which means what? We expect an even lower low, right, gang? So I did not trade this last one here, because I already told people in the trading room, I'm done. I got to go work on my presentation for you guys tonight. And this stuff doesn't happen by itself. And I don't have my team put this stuff together to me. I put this together myself here, and because I got to pull together my slides where I took the pictures of the trades and everything else, the domes and everything else. Nobody else has that. So I had to pull all that together. So but the bottom line is, had I not gone ahead and been doing this event with you guys tonight and told the room I wasn't going to trade anymore, I would have grabbed this too. Can you guys all see it? And by the way, you guys got a lot of questions, and I promise I'm going to answer your questions here soon. So I told you guys to plan for a 3-hour event or so. So I'll be getting to Q&A here in just a little bit. But can you guys see this? Look, this isn't like the last time I did this event months ago. I did this event 2 months ago or so. That particular week I grossed $20,287, and I showed you guys that, right? So this isn't like one of my $20,000 weeks, but you know what? It's still $5,100 in the last 4 business days. Is there anybody here? Type in a number 1 if you feel that's respectable. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So, just in a handful of days there. So, and like I said, that doesn't account for the money I made that I can't show you because I didn't take the screenshot. Because even if you go back to the Tuesday night video, I talked to you about where I'd just gotten done trading and I forgot to put the damn dome up and take a picture of it. So that happens because I got 100 things going on every day. So as we recap this, before we move on, I'm looking for the champion setup and the Pro RT. Then I'm looking for the acceleration alerts, but I want acceleration alerts and RTI. Nope, that's acceleration alerts. There we go. Acceleration alerts, RTI. Now from there, I want to see dual momentum. And then I want to see both trigger for long. I want to see both triggers rising. Okay. Then I can go ahead and start taking long side trades from that point on. Make sense? Type in number 2 if that makes sense. Well, that's pretty much what I was here. Yeah, Kevin says not bad for a part-time trader. Basically, I was a part-time trader the last 3 or 4 days. I mean, Ziad knows how busy I am. I'm sneaking in calls with him on a Sunday afternoon, trying to go ahead and catch up with him. And I mean, and then I had, meetings for hours that morning with other staff. Well, in fact, I was already on the phone, I think, when we dialed you in, wasn't I, Ziad?
Yeah, it was one of those busy weekends and busy days.
Yeah, I was on the phone for like 5 hours on Sunday. I'm trying to catch up on the weekends. So, yeah, I feel like I'm like a part-time trader, at times. I don't just used to sit there all day long. I wish I did, but with 4 international companies, super successful ones, like, Wealth 365, Wealth Charts, Become a Better Trader, all those different things that we have. I'm trying to hire staff right now. It's like, do you know people looking for a job? I got job, ads out there trying to find more great, talented people. The thing is, it's because we got great products and services in that, the live trading room, the ITP, Wealth Charts, all these wonderful things. So, but that's where I'm looking for the long. And then from that point on, gang, now what you're looking for is, okay, now you got momentum shift breakout opportunities. Okay, boom. So now you can go long 1 tick, 1 cent, 1 pip above that, right, gang? You guys follow me? Yep. So these are the speed lines, and they come with the ITP program. So yes, they do. So all right. So there's your reentry opportunity. Yes, you could take the trade on the pullback of the speed line continuation trade as well. But otherwise, for the people like I was talking to my friend Sheila here earlier tonight before we started, and so like Sheila, and of course I can't give Sheila or anybody individual advice, but when a person's concerned about taking a trade on a pullback, or wants to see a pullback happen first, one of the things they can do is wait for it to pull back into the speed lines and then start to resume off those. It's a trade I call the speed line continuation trade. And if it can make a fresh buy signal in a situation like this on one of my momentum shift breakout bar, which are marked, then that's gravy, right? So here's another one. Now, what is this? This is a reverse inventory retracement bar. So when it goes 1 tick, 1 cent, 1 pip above the high of that bar, can look for a trade. And actually, this made a reverse inventory retracement bar as well. So when it goes 1 tick, 1 cent, 1 pip above the high of this bar, I can go long. You guys following me? Boom. There it goes, right? This is making sense, gang? Look, there's another momentum shift breakout. 1 tick, 1 cent, one. That's also an IRB, by the way, if you notice. So that's an IRB and a momentum shift breakout. 1 tick, 1 cent, 1 pip above the high of that. That's a fresh reentry. I still have acceleration alerts, RTI, dual momentums, and I still got throttling here. Again, you can't make this stuff up. You know what I'm saying? So I hope this is making sense. And then, so here's an example there. That's putting together speedline continuation trades, momentum shifts, IRBs, all great continuation re-entry opportunities that you can have if you have the ITP, a culmination of my life's work firing off. Type in a number 1 if this makes sense, because I got to make sure this makes sense, because I don't see how people are going to be as successful as they can be. I don't see how people are going to achieve their maximum achievement levels if they don't get this. So I got to make sure you guys understand this. Okay, awesome. Okay, so then, here, let's go to this example. This was from yesterday. This was a well-known stock. Okay, so I got my champion setups. I got the ProArt, RT. I got acceleration alerts and RTI firing off on the same bar. Gravy. Oh, there we go. What do we have here? We have a reverse inventory retracement bar. 1 tick, 1 cent, 1 pip above the high of that bar. I can go long. There it is. Okay, then I can take re-entry opportunities on a pull back to the speed line, or guess what, gang? There's another reverse inventory retracement bar. Oh, by the way, we've got RTI, acceleration alert, dual momentum, and throttling. This was yesterday. Yes, Sean, this all comes with the ITP. Yeah, sorry, I haven't really talked about that. So, great. See, Trent? Exactly. I knew you'd get it. That's why I wanted to make sure you were here tonight. So, so there's your reverse inventory retracement bar. 1 tick, 1 cent, 1 pip above the high of that bar. Boom, there it is. You guys seeing this? Oh, here's a classic IRB. Classic IRB. Do I still have everything? Yep. Got Rob Hoffman, RTI and acceleration alerts. I got dual momentum. And I still got throttling. So 1 tick, 1 cent, 1 pip above the high of the IRB. Boom. You guys following me? Makes sense? Exactly, Sheila. Exactly. So if a person gets stopped out, you can take a really tight stop out, for instance, back behind the speed lines, and then wait for it to go back up above the speeds. And again, I'm not telling Sheila what to do, but I'm telling people how I look at this. And Ziad, what do we refer to this in the room? If it pulls down below the speed lines and starts to push right back up above it, that's a trade. We call that the three-door trade.
There you go.
Trade. Okay, gang? That's a 3-door trade. Exactly. Okay. This is the highest probability stuff. Nothing works in the world 100% of the time, but I can tell you right now, and I can say this openly in front of the entire audience, we have a lot of our student family here. Ziad's here. Ziad, you can tell them, everybody from my trading room can tell you, this works a metric ton. It happens so often it's not even funny. It goes ahead, this happens. This isn't like a 50-50 thing or 60 or 70% of the time. There's huge statistical probabilities involved. Remember, I didn't build this for you guys originally. This is a culmination of my life's work that ultimately I was going to lease for a lot of money. And then in the end, we decided, for a host of different reasons, I shared some of those honestly with you guys earlier, we elected, no, we're not going to go down the road of trying to work through a broker, a middleman to work with an institutional and sell our souls to the devil and everything else. Okay. But like right here. So, one of the things that you can do is, so that's great, Jonathan. I love naysayers. So Jonathan says, how well does it work in a sideways market? Well, that's a really great question, because Ziad, you could step in here, because the system actually goes ahead and shows all sorts of places where, when we're in a sideways market, let me see if I could pull down right here. So before we were trending in Netflix, which I showed you earlier, we were sideways. And so in the sideways market is where you could start to use this. When you're in the blues is where we can start trading with like the overbought, oversold type tools that come with the ITP program. Gus, I don't know.
Plenty of moments in the market where, you've got a trendless market and you sit there and go, what's the conviction of a turn from the top down, or what's the conviction of the turn from the bottom up. What the tools will do is give you that acceleration alert that tells you we are lifting off the bottom or we are coming down from the top. When you combine that with the stochastics at the bottom of the screen, it's a powerful combo to help you trade a channel that's going sideways. And we're going to be in markets where there are days like that, but based on the way the market's going, we're going to be seeing a lot more volatility and trends in markets probably in the days and weeks to come.
Yeah, but that's okay. You don't need to go ahead and have that. You could use it without. So let me see if I can go ahead and connect to my broker, because there's always one in the crowd. So that's okay, gang. So this will be worth it to show everybody, because this takes a second there. So actually there is in certain platforms, and there will be soon in wealth charts there as well. But give me a second here, gang. Let me pull up a chart here. Okay, so right now, gang, here's a live chart of the S&P futures. Okay, Gus. So Gus Vaca has been asking me, show a live chart. Show a live chart, for God's sakes. Okay, gang, here's a live chart of the S&P futures. Could somebody please tell me we have champion setups, Pro RT, RTI, acceleration alerts, dual momentum, and for the love of God, we even had throttling. There's your live chart there, gang. There's your live chart. Okay, live charts in overnight markets here. Did I do my job, gang? Gus was like, show a live chart. Show a live chart. There's a live chart. Here, we'll go ahead and let's go ahead and take a look. There's a 2-minute version of the same chart. Okay. Can you guys see it? Anybody here? Type in a number 1 if you can see it, because there it is right there. You got your throttling. And if you got throttling, it means it's going to make a higher high. And then you got your opportunity for it to pull back into the rising support for a re-entry opportunity. And when you have your continuation buy signals, that means you can look for your momentum shifts, your breakouts, all those re-entry opportunities. You can look for the stochastic spikes, the half spikes, the W pattern buys, etc. So there you have it. Okay, gang, just in case I wasn't clear, all those profits I showed you earlier were real money. Okay, not to be a jerk, but I didn't win 30 real money trading competitions around the world not knowing what the hell I'm doing. Okay. All right. Look at me. I have like a beard right now because my wife loves the beard. And I'm not having to speak, but I'm not a stupid. I'm not a serial killer. I know what I'm talking about. I'm doing the best I can to help you, Gus, and everybody else. All right. So there you have it. That was my quick cameo appearance on screen again. All right. So as we go ahead and we take a look there, so I hope this makes sense. So the bottom line is you guys got to look at it. Exactly. That's right. That's right, Dave. Exactly. So, yeah, I wish I had one, but I'm not much of a drinker. So I'll have one on you anyways, but I'm not much of a drinker. I guess I'm enjoying life too much with the kids. So, but so people asked about scanners and watch lists. Okay. So yeah, so there's multiple platforms that have the ability to have like scans and watch lists. So you can either watch a list of symbols in real time, or you can scan for them. Hopefully, hey, thanks, Glenn. You're too kind. No, that's okay. Hey, you know what? Look, I get it. The frustrating part for me is I know there's people, maybe Gus, maybe who knows out here, maybe you, Glenn, said nice things. People get burned all the time. There's a lot of people that talk about trading in our business. That's one of the reasons I go and do these trading competitions around the world with real live money. My broker has got to sign off, on this stuff that, it's like certify real money and everything else, and the thing is that I'm actually trying to help. I'm actually trying to show things I use. I just showed you live profits from the last couple of days. Hey, was it my best week? No, it was, in what, out of 4 business days, I had the $5,100. So no, wasn't exactly my barn burners, but you know what? That adds up fast, doesn't it? $5,100 can add up real fast. So so I'm trying to show people I'm actually, things I'm using in that, and and people in our trading room see this stuff every single day. They see these tools. So so scanners and watch lists, yes, we have several platforms. Bottom line is, from my perspective, it works in any of the time frames with any of the instruments. So my forex traders that were asking me about it earlier, in the market conditions, because it's a really great point. When it's sideways, what you're going to see is a sideways market condition. And so what will happen is you'll end up, from my perspective, looking for the stochastic spike type trades. So like these right here. All right. So this was earlier today when we kind of went into a chop. Can you guys see like this bright blue here? So what's happening then is, then at that point, when you get that, then you're basically looking to short the highs and buy the lows. See, like right here. So what happens is you go into a sideways market condition. It identifies it with the blue. And so when you go into that, then you start looking at the the sideways channel type trading opportunities until you break back into the Pro RT champion setup. Then at that point you back off and looking for those sideways markets again. When you start getting those acceleration alerts and that, now you start worrying, hey, maybe this is going to start breaking into a trend. So it has a the thing there. So that's okay. David, I'll show you that in a minute. You guys got some great questions, and I promise I'll get to those in a few minutes about the platforms and that. But the thing is, having really powerful tools like these isn't enough. If you guys just go out to Google, you can see for yourself. In fact, I feel like we just had a conversation about this in the live trading room the other day, Z, about the Lamborghini, and you have the most powerful tool, but if you don't know what the heck to do with it, then it's just an overrated death trap, right? And so the thing is that if you don't believe me, just type in "man crashes brand new sports car," and I'm sure you'll find countless examples on YouTube. Lots and lots of videos of people doing stupid stuff with high-powered machines. You could have a multi-million-dollar machine and do really stupid things very quickly. Brand new, Lamborghini and stuff like that. So you got to have tools. So what we have is we have a 6-day 21 setup course and a 32-hour bundle. So basically it's like 60 hours. It's called our professional trader development course. This is what the ITP was built on. Okay, this is what ITP was built on. So basically this was my life's work. These were the videos I did over the years. The problem is people had to take all this information and then kind of apply it to their own charts, apply it to their own work. Does that make sense? And yes, Gene, it does change color automatically to sideways markets. It did it this morning. I walked into the trading room this morning right at 9 o'clock Central. Z will tell you. In fact, you guys go look for yourselves. Don't take my word for it. But if you go take a look at the market right there, around 8:30, 9 o'clock this morning, we had a whole bunch of chop. In fact, here, I'll just show you. Here, let me just show you. So right there in the pre-market hours, that we had a whole bunch of chop. And so what I was saying was all of you there in the live trading room, what did I say this morning? The only trade to have was a sideways market trade, right? Didn't I say that, Z? Swear to God, swear on my life. May God
You
strike me
did. You
down.
did come in there with that.
It's
Absolutely.
I'm like we got the blues, gang. So it's sideways trading market, trades only, meaning you buy the dip, you sell the rallies, with the tools that I have. So ITP does it both, trend and non-trend, right? Exactly, Heron and Dave. Heron says not trading or sideways only. Exactly. And Heron says, as a student of Rob's, he called it in the morning. So the bottom line is I put this stuff to use. So the thing is so I got all this great coursework, but then, it's like, well, then you're left to have to go figure it all out, put it on your own charts and build it on your own charts. And that's why I said I hired a full stack developer, put it all together here. But I want you guys to see, if you go look, so here's a whole bunch of my trading strategies. In fact, we talked about some of these tonight. We talked about some of the stochastics. We talked about like W patterns, full spikes, half spikes, hockey sticks. We talked about some of the speed line continuation trades, of which there's many, over here as well. There's a whole bunch of trades. And so I got this whole program that teaches these strategies, which is great because now we have, indicators pre-built with and so if people get these, if people get the indicators, what we've been doing is we've been kind of bundling some of this stuff together here. So it has the new and small lot trader course, the advanced trading strategies, key rules to trading survival, trend trading techniques. And gang, this stuff ain't fluff. This is my work that went in to build those super awesome indicators. So if you want to drive the Lamborghini, you use the indicators. You want to learn how to drive the Lamborghini from the ground up, you watch these courses. Beginner to intermediate Q&A, intermediate to advanced Q&A, Rob's swing trading methods, setups, entries, and stops, Rob's indicator course. And all these, you see, this is 32 hours worth of incredible stuff. It also includes my options A to Z class, which is an 8-day course. That alone, $2,400, and a lot of really great stuff here. Because the bottom line is, this is the best chance I know of on the planet. In fact, I can pretty much say every single gain that I've made of $5,000 more, I've gone back and I look at this and I analyze this and I reanalyze this every time. Every single gain I've had of $5,000 or more, in my trade has been a direct result of these tools. And my biggest losses in my trading career were going the opposite of these. And I can just state that affirmatively. My biggest losses were trading against my indicators, because grown men can do really stupid stuff, right, women? We can do really stupid stuff. And sometimes we get that big S on our chest. We can all say, yes, we do. We get that big S on our chest and think we know it better. And it's like, well, yeah, I know it's going completely against every single concept in my life's work. But hey, I've had several great trades and made all this money. I know it better now, right? And so biggest losses in my career, trading against my indicators. Biggest wins in my career, trading with my indicators. Make sense? So with that being said, as we go ahead, we take a look here with all these tools, strategies of sport. If you are part of the 23% and can't make this work, this is a great time to give up trading. So if you have access to ITP, you have access to my work, you have access to the bonuses I'm going to give you, and you can't make this work, then trading might not be right for you. It's probably the cheapest way I know to find out whether trading is right for you, because this is a culmination of my life's work. I've shown repeatedly here in the last couple of days how the confluence of these things, dramatically increase the odds. I didn't accidentally win 30 real money trading competitions around the world. And so, like, for instance, my counter trend traders, and I'll tell you, if you're the kind of person, it's like, but yeah, I know it's going up. I know I see all your buy signals. I see your throttling. I see your dual momentums, but it's overbought. It's a good time to short. Okay. If you're that person, trading might not be right for you. Okay. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to ignore all the evidence and do that, then something's wrong with you. If there's a bunch of police cars lined up outside the bank and you decide to walk in with an assault rifle and say, "Put up your hands, I'm robbing you," you get what you deserve. All right. So with that being said, what we did was, the other people, from my perspective, that shouldn't probably get the ITP are people with really, really small trading accounts. Like if you got a few $1,000s left in your trading account, don't bet on black. Right. start small and try to work your way up. This is for serious traders and people that can go ahead and are serious about this, and are ready to make a difference from my perspective in their trading. And so it's not really like, gee, I got a few $1,000s and I want to bet on black, right? Because this is a Lamborghini, and you don't want to drive it off the showroom floor and crash, right? So it's for people that are serious. The super part-timers, they should probably just start with my TRP tools versus ITB. This is really for the people who know that they want to trade. They want to trade regularly, continuously, often. They want to leave their full-time jobs, or they're getting ready to retire and they know that they want to trade a lot more. This is for people that are actually going to be trading. And I don't just mean day trading. I mean swing trading as well. If you're an active swing trader, like you continuously and regularly actively swing trade, then this might be right for you as well. Yeah, the great trading related questions and all your questions here, I promise I'm going to answer at the end, which we're getting to. People I don't want around my children. If people tell you you're kind of creepy and they mean it, don't get the ITP, because people that have ITP get invited to special events like at my house, like we had here back several months ago. You saw I had my guns laying out there. I've got my kids there. I don't need weirdos by my kids or my guns, right? So if you're a weirdo, then probably doesn't make sense. Oh, no. Yeah, I don't, Kenneth. Kenneth says, don't despise the day of small beginnings. No, see, quite the opposite. I remember everybody who was there. I remember. In fact, I often say, Kenneth, if I had to do it all over again, if I had to start all over again with a $5,000 account, this is exactly how I trade. But what I'm saying is, Kenneth, I don't want people to go ahead and put their last couple $1,000s into something, and then they're not psychologically suited to go ahead and actually trade. Does that make sense, everybody? You guys all understand what I'm saying? Type in a number 1 if that makes sense. Have any of you here ever been in a situation where you made a mistake trading? You stayed in a trade too long. You didn't get out of a trade quick enough because you just needed a little more money. You just need a little more money out of that trade. And so you stayed too long, and then it went boom on you. Does that make sense, everybody? Bears make money, bulls make money, pigs get slaughtered. Don't be a pig. So what I'm saying is, people make really bad mistakes when they're in a really, really bad financial situation. How many of you already know that to be true? Type in a number 2. You already know that if your husband or your wife says, hey, dear, you got to take some money out at the end of the week because we're going to take a family trip, or we got to pay some bills, or whatever the case may be, and you're sitting there like, oh, well, that's just going to make my account smaller. I got to go make some extra trades right now to go make up for that money before he or she takes that out on me. Right? You guys see what I'm saying? So that's why I don't want people to be in that situation. Is that fair? Is it wrong for me to want you guys to be in a place where you guys can go ahead and take full advantage of this? I hope not. But I can afford not to have you one of my students. I'd rather have the right students with us to grow with us for the long term. Does that make sense? So and then people can't take action, because if you see you've got your your signals, your champion stops firing off, you got your pro RT firing off, you got your acceleration alert, your RTI firing off, and you got your dual momentums down below, and you got your throttling down below that, and you're like, yeah, but maybe if a few more signals come, maybe I'll go ahead. Hey, well, no, thanks, Danny. I appreciate it. Very nice of you. If a few more signals come in, maybe then I'll take the trade, right? If you're like the person that just like you're afraid to pull the trigger, then that's not a good fit. All right. So that's who it's not for. For everybody else, then we can talk here. So basically, if you go to my website, you'll notice that the indicators themselves are usually 79.97. That's worth their weight in gold for that, because of the fact that we have. So if you go to our website, you'll see them. They're 79.97. Here they are on the website. We sell them for that. They're all day long, every day, 79.97. Okay. So just for that, and totally worth it. That's a culmination of my life's work, and that's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, which I won't bore you with all the details, but that's a lot of hard-earned capital and more than 2/3 of my life learning the things I found. So can't just give it away, which is one of the reasons why we entertain. Well, do you just go ahead and actually, work with an institutional firm and collect a big check and then go off into the sunset? But and then what we did was we were going to bundle it with our professional trader development course. And if you look on our website, the options A to Z, that's a couple $1,000. The 6-day-21 setup course and the professional trader development course, all that combined, it's about $8,400. Then we also do like events like this. We have our live trading room, things like that, which we're going to put a couple months of that here for you as well. So we put all that stuff together. What that looks like is this. So if you go to robinabox.com, and this is going to, we'll answer a lot of your questions here in just a moment. But if you go to robinabox.com, then what you'll do is you're going to get the ITP indicators. You're going to get the scans and alerts. I'll show you what platforms it's available for. We have the scans for it, the watch list and the scans for select platforms. And now this has got some things I didn't cover tonight. The MSR, covered the oscillators a little bit. There's some other tools that are kind of in here, and I didn't cover how to use every single one because then we'd be here for another 3 hours. That's why I have that professional trader development course, right? So, but so it comes with a whole bunch of things I didn't even cover tonight, which is a nice thing to have, bonuses, right? Under commit and over deliver. It comes with a professional trader development course. It comes, which is the 32-hour course and the 6-day-21 setup course, which was the foundation of what made the ITP indicator. So having that 60 hours worth of the insides of how ITP were built, kind of cool. Learning how to use all those different things. The options A to Z course as well. So there's a lot of stuff there. That's the 8-day course using my strategies. That's about $16,491 there. What we'll do is we're going to offer that for one-time investment. I want to be clear on that because people always ask that, is that annual and everything else. One-time investment, $49.97. So if you get it here, we're at 9:40 right now. So if you get it by 9:30 Central Time, 10:30 Eastern here, what I'm also going to do for you, because people need to be able to make a decision, and I'm going to give you 2 months of our active trading room. So you can come in there, learn how we use them right there on the spot in front of us. That's going to go, and our room is open Monday through Friday. It covers stocks, futures, options, ETFs, and it's open from 8:45 Eastern to 4 o'clock Eastern. This is kind of a normal breakdown. We have the pre-market segment, and sometimes Ziad puts trades off in this section. So you could almost put live trading, but since he does most of the live trading in this section here and that, we have that bulked out there, right? And then there's live trading can happen anytime from there on out. We also try to break some things out for swing trading setups, and we have a lot of Lori time with the options in there as well. So you got stocks, futures, options, ETFs. People will ask us about currency pairs there as well. That's Monday through Friday, 8:45 Eastern to 4 p.m. Eastern. We have a weekly Sunday report. That's a massive report that covers all sorts of different markets, has summary slides and executive summary of what we were focusing on last week and what we're looking at for next week. Ziad goes ahead and puts that together painstakingly. Literally spends half his weekend going and building that each weekend. It's just phenomenal. And then becomes the roadmap for the week. Then you got Ziad in there specifically. By the way, you'll see him. He'll have like the ITP indicators on there as well. And so, and he lays everything out, what he's looking at. So it's like here, you see he's focusing on stocks here, because we do a lot of stock focus as well as futures and ETFs and options, of course. And I see people are already calling in. So yeah, you can call 847-235-6131 or go to robinabox.com. I'll put that in there, for you as well in the chat. But I want to ask a whole bunch of questions there. So let me go ahead and put that in there. and then I'll go ahead and keep answering questions. All right, so you're going to get, and then what's nice is, and Z, I don't know if you want to talk about this, but with the swing trading alerts that you put out there with the swing trade sheet, you had some really incredible stuff here that you highlighted. We're on wealth charts, so you put them into the BBT trading room, and then you went out and posted some things on wealth charts there as well, and we can see how some of these were just phenomenal swing trade ideas of yours as well. I don't know if you want to briefly just quickly discuss these.
Absolutely. At the beginning of each week, we start the week with the report that's based on a whole bunch of research that's done over the weekend. And there are some weeks that are just incredible where the setup is perfect and there's a ton of ideas available. So I'll come into the room and I'll posit what these swing trading ideas are. I'll post them on wealth charts as well so that members can kind of cross-pollinate. And then we will talk about them. We will look at taking them. And we will track them as well and give you the rationale behind them. These are just a handful of examples of ideas that started really at the beginning of May and have done really, really well for many members in the room.
All right. So the bottom line is, thanks, E. So the thing is that, so the swing trade ideas is obviously very prevalent as well. That's the point that I want to make. The ETFs, the stocks. So it's stocks, futures, ETFs, the currencies, options. It's all very heavily part of the live trading room. So I wanted you to kind of see, some of these different things. And if you go back and check some of these out on wealth charts, you can go see some of the ideas there that Z had posted out there. Obviously, the majority of them are just posted for our live trading room members, but Z contributes to wealth charts there as well. So some really great stuff. So I wanted you to kind of see. So you're going to get 60 days of the live trading room. 60 days of live trading. So if you buy the ITP tonight, you're going to get 60 days of the live trading room. What's funny here is a whole bunch of people have already bought the ITP, and I haven't even told you all the things you're going to get. Well, I'm glad that means you have a lot of faith in me, and don't worry, I'm going to deliver. So now that you just bought, sit tight because I'm going to tell you all the things you got. So the congratulations. So you get 60 days of membership to the BBT live trading room. If you already have the BBT live trading room, and you buy the ITP, you're going to get the 2 months added to your existing membership. That was a question that was already asked a couple times, and you will get that added to your membership if you went ahead and so if you have the BBT live trading room right now and you buy the ITP tonight, we're going to add 2 extra months to your membership. So it's not like we're going to penalize you for being an existing student family member. That's not how we do things. We have superior customer service. So so with that being said, the swing alerts, the live trading room access, the Sunday report, the video archive there, because we record those daily sessions there as well for our PO, because we got a lot of swing traders in our trading room. They only can pop in a couple days a month, but they get a lot of value out of those couple days a month, so they're with us. So we're going to go ahead and give you all those different things. That's $594, because normally the live trading room is $297 a month. Even when we go ahead, we do really special events every so often, every few months or so, we have a lower price, but normally it's $297, and that's the price. You go to the website right now and try to buy the IT or the live trading room, you'll see it's $297. So you're also going to get the Lake Geneva course. As I mentioned, because I don't want crazy people being part of our student family, because I got all these wonderful people. There's my buddy Simon right there. We got a lot of great people here. And this is just like a one fraction of the room. You can't see all these super guys and gals from all over the world. This was a huge hotel room full of people and a lot of great people. And they all then came to my house. We had a big cookout and food catered in. Then we went shooting late in the day when the majority of the people all left. We had a massive audience. And so so we had a 5-hour course where I taught some insider secrets on how to use the ITP, and that was invaluable. And so people flew in from all over the world and came to this, and then so we got this 5-hour course. So you're going to want to watch that 5-hour course. I'm going to throw that as a bonus. We're selling that separate, but we're going to give that to you guys here as part of that extra bonus for going and joining us tonight. And a lot of you were asking about what platforms this is for. Well, how many of you have like Interactive Brokers, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, E-Trade, or any other platform that you can't normally get custom super important indicators like mine for? How many of you have a platform like that? Type in, tell me what platform you have. Give me your platforms right now. Maybe it's one of these four. Maybe it's a different one. Tell me the brokers that you guys have, and I'll tell you why I'm asking in a minute. Well, Thinkorswim. So I know a lot of people don't program for Thinkorswim because of theft and that. By the way, for all of you buying tonight, you still have to sign your life away. So I'll get to you in a few minutes on that. You have to sign your life away, because obviously I could have leased this myself. I can't have you guys stealing my work, so you guys got to sign your life away that you're not going to share it with anybody, and so on and so forth. So the all right, so a lot of you guys have platforms that people can't build indicators for. So listen, what we have is we have wealth charts for you. So every one of you can take advantage of this, even if you have one of those platforms that people can't program indicators for. I'll give you a list of all the platforms it's available for in a little bit. But it's available for a lot of platforms, but obviously not some of the ones that like these ones here. But we've got a solution for you. So in 2020, Wealth Charts was launched, and it's already taking over the world in so many different ways. Huge, incredible, and like I said, it's just getting started. So I'm going to give you a little bit of tour to show you what you guys are going to get as part of this as well. If you go to robinabox.com, you order the ITP. So you get 2 months of Wealth Charts as well. And so this was built by traders for traders. You can use it on a mobile device. You can have like the Wealth Finder. You can use the ITP indicators on your iPhone, your iPad, your laptop, your desktop, all these different things. You can totally customize the layouts of these things. We got some big announcements coming about that, which I can't give you away the secrets on tonight, but we got lots of research. We got lots of scanning for fundamentals. We got watch lists here. We've got alerts. We're building in right now as I'm speaking to you. My overnight team is going ahead and working on this huge tool that we're building, so you guys will be able to have, the goal is to have the ITP scanner screener available in Wealth Charts there as well. So they're literally working on that as I'm talking to you right now. We have integrations. I saw somebody just a few minutes ago made a comment about Tastyworks. We have Tastyworks and Infinity Futures already integrated as an execution partner. You can go ahead and execute trades through them. We have Tasty Trade. We have lots of different things and different exchanges and different things coming in already in a lot of different types of integrations. Where you'll get access to all of these indicators. Just added here another indicator here at the bottom, going from Hewlett Centers just the other day. All these different indicators right here, you're going to get access to. So what's going to happen is you'll be able to get my IRBs and spike strategy alerts and different things like that. The IRB signals and that, you're going to be able to get those and overlay them on your ITP, which is really cool, in Wealth Charts, because these are extra bonuses in Wealth Charts that aren't available anywhere else. But you'll get 2 months of Wealth Charts there. You get Brian Shannon's anchored VWAP tools in Wealth Charts, Hubert Center's Ichimoku Cloud ADX scanner, Jeff Tompkins crossbow indicator, Barry Burns TD cycle indicator, Jake Bernstein's 8OC indicator, Johnny Seville's Acorn money flow, my IRB reverse IRB indicator, which will lay out very nicely on top of this. You'll get all the Wealth 365 Summit recordings, all the educational recordings that I did, on some of my other strategies and tools and teaching there, as well as other people's. So you're going to get 2 months of access to all of that stuff there, and if you can't figure out how to go ahead and ROI out from that, another great sign that trading or investing may not be for you, because it's just unbelievable. This is stuff that we've done just in the last few months. So just here last Friday, we've added in a Trading Dome, Wealth Finder enhancements, main menu upgrades. We got a lot more of those coming, drawing tool improvements, new indicators in there. So even in the month of May, and it's only half over, we went ahead and a little over half over, we've added in a bunch of things this month already and got more coming, some huge ones coming. But all these different improvements that we've done, new things being added in. And so each month we're adding more and more things and integrations trends and different partners and research and analysis, indicators, tools, Wealth Finder to help find trades. And so if they pop up on Wealth Finder, yeah, thanks. I'm so glad you guys are joining our student family here, because, robinabox.com, the unbelievable amount of value is just incredible. So so what's going to happen, I put the link in there too for those of you that are asking. You can call, if you call 847-235-6131 right now, especially because we've got till 9:30 Central Time, 10:30 Eastern. So that's 35 minutes, 36 minutes right now. So call in, at least if you're having a problem with an order or something, call in so they can reserve your spot for that. But basically, added in. So April, Wealth Finder went live, some other indicators, the Trading Dome I just told you about. So if you trade with like Infinity or Tastyworks, you can go ahead and do orders there. We got a live Trading Dome integrated, and then we just added here in May the whole color coding. So if Wealth Finder detects signals on multiple time frames, it'll light up a color coding for you to let you know that it's on multiple time frames. You can now add custom lists to search in Wealth Finder. So then if they show up here, then you start watching your ITP indicators, and man, what a deadly combination. And then right here, it comes with data. It comes with real-time data for U.S. and European stocks through BATS. Comes with Forex, cryptocurrencies, and futures equivalents. These are the futures equivalents: crude, gold, silver, natural gas, NASDAQ 100, Dow 30, S&P, the CAC, the FTSE, the Nikkei stock index futures, IBEX 35, ASX 200, and DAX 30, and Eurostoxx 50. So a whole bunch of free data that this comes with as well. We have not integrated. We've got other big brokerage firms that we're going to be integrating within Wealth Charts here to come, but I can't give that away right now, which ones they are, but they're coming. And so you're going to get 60 days of access to that, which will include Wealth Finder, scanners, screeners, research tools, the SMS and email alerts, the daily video content, the first 45 minutes of the early morning broadcast for Live Trading Room is in there. Trade ideas from market experts like Ziad and many others that contribute information on there. Customized workplace views, chat with other traders, access past and future summit videos from Wealth 365. And the bottom line is, gang, the whole reason is, yeah, listen, if you're having a hard time getting through to somebody, trust me, there's a whole bunch of people there. I promise you, they're just all on the phone. So just give it a minute, let it ring for a second. If it asks you to leave a voicemail, please leave a voicemail saying call you right back. So they're there. They're all here. They're all in the United States, and they're all working late tonight. But they're there. But like I said, if you just go to robinabox.com, it's there for you. But right now, every day we're given 3 days, 3 reasons to buy the market, three reasons to sell the market, and you need tools like this. And this tool, right now, you're trading against. And thanks, Raymond. Welcome to our student family as well. I appreciate that. And we're trading against a lot of algorithmic programs. I beat an algorithmic program. This is the equity curve. This is the equity curve of the algo program I traded against in Italy last year. It's a big deal because this guy's a big deal, and he had a really great program. You can see the equity curve on his program, and I still beat him by just nearly 2-1. Okay, a little less than 2-1, I beat him by. And in the end, having the ITP indicator still gives me an edge, which is why, there was this opportunity for me to go and be headhunted for an algorithmic program. People want this kind of edge. So by the way, those of you that work for an institution, you're not able to buy this you're not able to buy this for your whole firm, of course. People are only able to use it individually for their own purposes, just as a reminder. But so anyways, beating algo programs, you know how good that feels? Beating machines with equity curves like that feels real good to do that. Same amount of money. We had the same capital, traded in the same exact time frame against each other. And, I still won. Okay. And, look, the bottom line is this week, I didn't go ahead and gross $20,000 in the last 3 or 4 sessions, but I did gross over $5,100. And you know what? When you look at all the things that I offered you here, all the things I offered you, the ITP indicators with the scans and alerts, the all the education, which alone is $6,000, and the options course, which is under $2,400 for the 8-day course, plus 60 days of the live trading room, the Lake Geneva course, and then 60 days access to wealth charts. That's priceless. That's like $19,216 worth of value for one-time payment of $49.97. If you can't see the value in that, I grossed more than that in the last 3 or 4 trading days. You know what I'm saying? And so it wasn't a great week like that $20,000 week the last time I did an event with you guys. But you know what? It was a great week anyways. You know, $5,100 is still great in 3 or 4 business days. So it was actually 3 days of, you know, trading there. So a huge opportunity, you know, and nearly 75% discount, you know, for my work. And the bet that I'm making is that you guys will then stay with us for the long term. You'll become part of our student family. You'll stay with the live trading room. You'll stay with wealth charts. You'll stay with us for the long term. Does that make sense? So that's the bet that I'm going ahead and you know, making there. Now the rules are, and I know a lot of you were asking about what market or what are you looking for? The things you're waiting, and I'll get to it just a second, I promise, in just a moment, because we got 30 minutes still to order to get all the bonuses as well. And by the way, like there was this one gentleman earlier who was saying, hey, I've been trying to order this for a long time, and you know, but the team wouldn't let him because we only open it up for the special pricing between. Normally it's $79.97 just for the indicators, and not to mention all the other stuff. And we don't give the bonuses for live trading room and wealth charts and stuff like that. It's just too valuable normally. So, but you're going to have to sign your life away. So there's a catch. There's always a catch. And I want to make sure you guys understand. You're going to have to sign a legal document before you get access to the indicators, that you understand that you can't share, give away, you know, lease, loan, whatever, the indicators, resell the indicators to somebody else, you know, under penalty of lawsuit. Okay. This is my life's work. I could go do this already. I could go ahead and go through a headhunter and go ahead and offer my indicators up, you know, to somebody else. So it would be criminal and unfair for you to go do it, you know, when you know, it's wrong. It's wrong on so many levels. I also want you to commit. So in addition to signing that PDF document there, need you to commit to watching the 9+ hours of ITP specific training. That's the next commitment that I need you to make. So the 9+ hours of videos. And you know, I really encourage you really to watch the entire professional trader development course. I won't swear you to that on day one, especially if you're going to start coming into the live trading room to see how things are used in that. But I really would like for you to watch well, because that's how the ITP are built. What's behind the engine? How to drive the hours of Lamborghini? You know what I'm saying? And so it's kind of important. But the you know, 9+ hours, I am asking you to commit to, and you have to sign your life away that you're not going to be reselling them, giving them away for free, reselling them, sharing them with your buddies at the you know, the prop firm you're working at, etc. Okay. So because we put things in the code to go ahead and monitor that. So you can go ahead and have up to, I believe, 2 or 3 licenses for your own private use. But, you know, we do watch that, you know, very closely, because otherwise we could just have, you know, people, you know, doing illicit things. So is that fair? Is that fair to everybody? You know, type in a number 1 if that's fair, you know, because this is my life's work, and I'm willing to share it, but under certain circumstances, right? Because otherwise I can just go ahead and go lease it, go off and do something else. But then I couldn't trade for myself potentially, because I was told that I might have to give up my rights to the software for myself. And I'm like, that's not going to happen. It's just not worth it to me. I'm not going to have somebody take it away from me, only to, you know, potentially down the road, they say, oh, well, we're doing a different algo right now. And then meanwhile, I'm without it for a long time until they decide to, you know, release it back to me. So that just wasn't going to work. So, all right. So that's great. And I know, sorry, David, I'm here. Okay. Well, so, almost here, I promise. You know, the bottom line is you have to sign the non-disclosure agreement. Because people have tried to steal my wife's work. I actually had a student in my room that went ahead and put my work out in Stocks and Commodities magazine. It was the craziest thing, and he got shut out of the business after he did that because everybody and their brother found out about it. And then the Sox Commodities magazine went back and wrote a really nice article about me. But he literally stole my work. He was a student of mine. It was the craziest thing, and there's a lot of scumbags out there. So do unto others as you expect done unto yourself. So with that being said, let's talk about the platforms. So it's already available in indicator format for TradeStation, TOS, Infinity Sierra Charts, NinjaTrader 7 and 8, eSignal 12, but it also is available. It's also available for wealth charts as an indicator, but for scanners, it's available for TradeStation, TOS, Infinity, Sierra Charts, NinjaTrader 7, NinjaTrader 8, and 12 because they got scanners. And we're building the technology right now so that wealth charts could go ahead and have access to that as well. For watch lists, you've got multi-charts and multicharts.net, soon to be wealth charts, eSignal 12, Infinity and Sierra Charts, Thinkorswim, and TradeStation. So you've got that, and I feel like I want to say MT4 or MT5 it's available for as well, but check with my team before you order for MT4 or MT5. I'm 99% sure it's for MT4 for the indicator, but not scanners and watch lists. They didn't have the scanners and watch list thing, but for MT4. But so TradeStation, TOS, Infinity Sierra Charts, eSignal 12, multi-charts and multicharts.net, soon to be wealth charts, trade, and then all these ones you got either scanners or watch lists or both. It's indicators for all, and then some of them have scanners, some of them have watch lists, some of them have both. Does that make sense? Did I get that? So David, did I get that there? Did that answer your question? Yes, Wealth Charts works on both a PC and a Mac. Absolutely. TOS is TD Ameritrade. That's right, Pierre. Okay. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that. Okay, yeah. So Michael, do me a favor, Michael O. Email into support@wealthcharts.com or just call the guys. I mean, I think everybody's on the phone right now, honestly, but call in, leave a voicemail. And they'll go ahead, and that way they can get you taken care of. Okay, Michael O. So happy to help, especially as a wealth charts person. So and yes, Wealth Charts has data, the Forex data, and Wealth Charts has data as well. It includes real-time data there, CU. Okay. You're happy to help, Michael. So, all right. So I got all those. So the bottom line is we got installation videos, installation guides, installation help, fantastic support. For those of you that can't install these on your own, don't worry about it. We could do it for you. But you want to screw around, figure out how to install it. But if you have wealth charts, it's already ready to go. All you got to do is just get activated. So go purchase it real quick, get activated, and you can be up and running very, very quickly. So nothing to install. Everything's live and updated real time in your browser, there for you. So in summary on that, then I'll start answering all your questions. Includes the indicators, which are way more than $49.97 on their own. That's like I said, that's the real price, gang. All day long, you can go to my website, you can see for yourself just the ITP indicators themselves. This is my life's work. So this is no small thing. This isn't a joke. This isn't a toy. This isn't some throwaway tool or indicator. This is what I use. You guys saw some of the profits there. This is, it's not a joke, right? So I just can't emphasize that enough. But then it comes with the professional trader development course, the options A to Z course, 2 months in the live trading room to give you way a lot of support there in your live intraday trading as well as swing trading, and learn from us there. It includes the Lake Geneva ITP course. For those of you that were asking, yes, that's the Lake Geneva ITP course that was shot last August when people flew in from all over the world to go ahead and be here for a 2-day. I have a 40-acre estate, so people went ahead and day one, we did a whole big training at a beautiful hotel on the lake. Then we went out for a double-decker boat ride, and then on Friday we did a special class in the morning, and then Friday afternoon we went ahead and did a big cookout here. And then the people that stayed way late into the day after the majority of people left, we went to the back and went shooting. So it comes with the Lake Geneva course and 60 days access as a founding member to the Wealth Charts program. There it says BBT Charting, but it's actually the Wealth Charts program. But BBT Charting is Wealth Charts program. It's two in the same because that's what I use for my trading, as I was showing you guys earlier. And people were asking me to look, at the live markets earlier, which I did for you guys. By the way, anybody want to see what the market's done since those ITP indicators fired off? That right there. How cool is that, gang? How cool is that? See the ITP indicators going off and going off and going off and going off. That's it, gang. There you have it. That's as real as it gets. There was that gentleman, I think it was Gus earlier or something, was asking me, show me the real charts. Show me the real charts. All right, Gus. There you have it. Pro RT, champion setup, acceleration alert, RTI. And you had positive trigger, fast trigger, positive core trigger. You didn't have throttling. You don't need throttling. You just need them to both be positive. Then you had stochastic spike, W pattern buy, stochastic spike, half spike, hockey stick buy, stochastic spike. Lots of entry and re-entry opportunities. That's my trigger. That's the trigger I've been talking about, Chuck, all night long. The fast trigger and the core trigger. And gang, there it is. You guys saw it. I showed it to you earlier, and look what's happened since then. You can't make this stuff up. Okay, really awesome stuff. So there you have it. I'll put the link in. And now I'll go into Q&A mode there, try to answer as many questions. I try to answer some along the way, but I just wanted you to see all the massive value. In times like these, I can't imagine a better value for something more meaningful than this. With all due respect, so many of you have gone out and paid so much money for crap out there. And I actually trade. I grossed more money in the last 3 out of 4 trading sessions than the cost of this. You know what I'm saying? So this is a huge opportunity here for a one-time payment of $49.97 and giving you 2 months of support in the live trade room, 2 months of wealth charts. That's huge. Okay, so you're getting all that. So type in a number 7, lucky number 7, if that's fair for everybody, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start going and answering all of your questions. So, but I want to go, and I'll scroll back beyond the 7s. I just realized, I'm asking everybody to type in number 7. It's like, sorry about that. But that's okay. I'll scroll back and look at some of the questions. So just a incredible value, incredible opportunity. It's available for NinjaTrader 7 and 8, Brad G. Yes, it is. So, so let's see. Just signed up. When does the software become available? How is it sent to me? So, James, let me go ahead and find out. I think you guys get an email in a few minutes for wealth charts. So it depends which platform you're looking for it, James. But because there's a process, you got to sign the non-disclosure agreement that I was telling you about. And you signed that? Okay, great. So if you sign that, yep, Raymond, it's for toss as well. So if you sign that, then I think what happens is they email you a link to go ahead and I'm quickly trying to get you an answer. So you just bear with me and I'll see if I can call someone who actually can give me an accurate answer. But I believe in 5 to 10 minutes after you sign all that, they go ahead and, hey, Pete, okay. Thank you very much, Pete. Appreciate that. Hey, Sarah. Hey, a quick question for you. So after they've signed the agreement, how long till like they can get access like wealth charts and stuff like that? Like, what's the process after they sign the non-disclosure agreement? How long does it take to get like information to continue the process?
So as quickly as we can upload the agreement, so I'm working on that right now.
Okay. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people that joined. So you're uploading the agreements. So you upload the agreements.
Once I do that, we basically push the next step forward, and they receive an email within a few minutes of me doing that.
Okay, great. I'll let them know. Thank